Welcome into the Cam Strick podcast, episode number 220, presented by Hair Club, Cam.
Yeah, man. I feel good. I had a good...
Well, you got... No.
Why?
Pick up the energy.
No, I'm good.
In 2023.
No. I'm good, man. Damn. I had a great last couple of weeks. Still going on another little vacay this Friday with Kate, going down to the cabins again, Andy, you know, down at Red Cedar Lodge. Red Cedar Lodge? Yeah, Big Cedar Lodge.
No, it's Big Cedar Lodge.
Big Cedar Lodge. Might be.
But I don't know if you stay in Big Cedar, do you? You said you're going somewhere like...
no, it's in Big Cedar.
By the lake.
No, that's still by Big Cedar.
Are you going to skate on the lake?
Fuck no. It's going to be 50 degrees, you donkey.
What do you think of like the outdoor rinks? Would you skate on... Oh, it's 50.
It's 50 degrees outside.
Today,
It's gonna be, yes, it is.
Is
it was cold this morning. It's going to be 50 degrees. No, you cannot do that, Andy, unless you want to die, which I don't. I like to go there and have fun and barbecue and get massage and shit like that. Kate and I are going to have a great time. The doggies aren't coming because they'd be fucking annoying. So it's going to be us. We'll stay there for a couple days, come back, do another podcast with you, take the fucking radio show off so I don't have to get up in the morning, and I'll be happy.
How was your holiday?
It was good, man.
Your Instagram videos were very orange.
I did. I posted Instagram videos.
Kate does. And she puts like a filter on there where everybody's orange.
No, it's more like it's
like a red orange.
Yeah, but you're mistaking Kate with filters that chicks use to make themselves look better.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, but those are like in deep.
Oh, that's
filters.
Not what she's doing.
She's just putting like, you can go on Instagram and go, oh, look, the shade's better, the lighting.
No, she's not trying to make her, because she's not always in them.
Yeah.
It's like your orange dogs. I mean, I think your dogs are orange. I don't even know if what color
orange,
they
idiot.
are.
They're orange. They're orange.
Well, they're coming across orange.
Well, they are. They're white and orange. So that's why they're
Did you see what was going down in Brazil yesterday? They are not happy with the government.
Oh, yeah,
they are storming it down. I was watching a number of international news channels trying to figure out exactly what is happening.
Well, they're poor. Broke.
It has nothing to do with the World Cup, nothing like that.
Brazil?
Well, they didn't win.
Well, yeah, Argentina won, but they played France. Brazil got knocked out way before that.
I know.
No, because everybody's poor there for the most part. I don't want to speak for everybody.
I don't know if that's true.
They're going through crazy shit, man. Absolutely, Brazil's going through some tough times, man. Absolutely.
I mean,
good people there.
In all seriousness, I think.
Why would you bring that up off the bat? Like that's what Andy finally like scrolls through, like instead of watching Good Morning America, like he'll like watch
the Today Show.
Something will pop up like, oh, I'm going to talk to Cam about Brazil. Like I don't know, man. Listen, we got our own problems. We got our own problems here in America. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Okay, well, they were storming down the government building.
Yeah, man. That happens.
Now, and I mean this with all seriousness, there's some money in Brazil. I know
of course there is.
A doctor.
There's money everywhere, man.
From Brazil who's friends with a doctor here in town who I know, and they come in town and they're like some of the wealthiest people in the world, like royalty.
There's wealthy people everywhere, Andy. They have the rainforest, which, again... There's so much shit that we haven't found in the rainforest. It's incredible. The shit, these monoliths that they're finding there, and they're dating it back to this.
What are they finding?
These huge monoliths. I mean,
what's that?
Like a pyramid or a huge structure that was made back in the day that's like impossible to make. And they're like, how the fuck did they do this? So they're finding all kinds of different stuff, man. That rainforest is like the ocean. It's you don't know what you could find. It's all covered up. It's so thick and dense. It's unexplored, just like the ocean for the most part. And they find all kinds of shit. Now, Brazil's beautiful. They have beautiful women. They got great athletes. But the poverty level, especially in Rio de Janeiro, damn, dude. Look up slums in Rio de Janeiro. They're all on the side of a mountain, and they go on forever. It's hardcore, man. Yeah. They had the Olympics there, right?
In Rio?
Yeah, remember that? Did. And they built it all up. Fucking, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, it's
like
not,
they build it up
that poor. There's a lot of poor areas of Brazil, but from what I understand,
yeah, there's a lot of the slum goes on and on and on and on and on. But there's a lot of wealthy areas too. There's a big distinction between the wealthy and the poor. Listen, I don't know enough about Brazil. You bring up fucking Brazil, and now I gotta talk to you like you're a child or something. Like you're like, there's people in Brazil that I know.
Trying
no,
to
there's not.
Tell us everything I don't know about Brazil.
I don't know anything about it except for that there's a lot of poverty, and the beauty is unbelievable. Christ the Redeemer, like Rio de Janeiro is fucking awesome, and of course the Amazon jungle, and I don't know.
What do you know about Harry the Prince?
Oh God, I don't care about
He's
that.
wrote a memoir.
He's such a geek. What the fuck happened to him? He's like a cuckold or something.
What does that mean?
This means your wife's, not that she's getting banged out. I meant like she's,
wait
a minute.
Show. You can't say that.
No, I'm not saying she did. But he is kind of a cucky poo. Where he's like, what are you going to do now, Megan? Megan, I'm with you. Yeah, like, okay. Megan's a victim. Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, they left the royal family.
We're victims. We're victims.
So
like,
do you,
no,
you
you're
think,
not.
you think
Yoink.
he still has money and all that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how does he get paid?
Well, he
has like, they still have like an ATM card.
Well, I think they got a contract with a couple different companies like Netflix or something to have their thing on. They're making money in so many different ways. She has a ton of money. I don't know if they're getting still paid by the royal family or not. I don't know, but it's so fucked up. And I don't. To be honest with you, I would say if I had to judge people that lived over in Britain right now, they'd be like, "Fuck that motherfucker."
They kicked him out.
I don't want to speak for him, but I'd say like if I'd have text my buddies right now and say, "Hey, what's up with this cat?" They're like, "Fuck his ass."
Do you know that the daughter of Ronald Reagan years ago, she wrote a memoir, and then she's come out. I saw this on the Today Show this morning. She's come out and she's said that she regrets writing the memoir, and she said Harry's going to regret it one day too.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I don't give a shit about him. Harry, whatever.
Did you watch the documentary? Didn't they have like a documentary?
Why would I watch that, dude? I'm not watching that.
Well, you watch a number of other like.
You think I'm going to watch a
trashy
fake?
Shows? What
are you talking about? You think I'm going to watch a documentary about Meghan and fucking little Harry? And Meghan's like, I'm a victim. No, I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch a documentary of kings and queens from back in the day, and fucking maybe, you know, of even Queen Elizabeth II. I'd watch a documentary about her. Like, she's a fucking badass bitch.
I didn't know King Charles or Prince Charles.
Yeah,
that he's Jewish.
Is he got a little Jewish in him?
I think they all
They
are.
might be. I don't know.
Like Elizabeth.
Do you like him more because he's Jewish?
No, I'm just saying.
Are you close to him now?
Well,
are you more
no,
close
I'm
now
just,
you're Jewish?
I'm just saying. Hey, there's a lot of cool things about the Jewish religion, though. I will say that, man. I mean, there are, and I don't want to say religion, but I mean just in terms of like traditions, you know, like there's.
Yeah, they're disciplined, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
High IQ, all that. Yeah, they're very family oriented. Damn right.
Yes.
That's why they're fucking successful.
If you could pick one other religion, what would you?
I'm not a religious guy.
You don't have a.
Andy's trying really hard to get me to say something. I don't know. Like you fucking make me tread water here a little. Like, what do you mean? We're talking about your religion and Brazil. Like, you know,
what is your religion?
I think my grandmother was Catholic to a point. I think we were considered Methodist. I don't fucking know. I know there's I believe I'm very spiritual, not too much to where I'm.
Do you meditate?
Yeah.
Do you?
I'll meditate.
Will you light candles?
I meditate
and, like,
in the goddamn shower
and put some music on.
Yeah, I'll meditate when I'm driving.
You can't meditate to heavy metal music though.
I can meditate. I do what I do, Andy. Like I do what makes me think and be comfortable and maybe get away from my anxiety or whatever the case is. I do my own thing. Now I think my own way too. As far as if I do a bad thing, something bad's gonna happen. Happens my whole life. Like it does. I believe in karma. Yeah. I believe just be nice to fucking people. Don't always think about money and shit. Just it all will come together. If you're good to people, you work hard, you stick together, you stick with people that are good to you, good things happen.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck he just asked me, but
sometimes I'll have like bad thoughts creep into my mind, and I have to like say out loud that okay, this will not happen. Yeah. Otherwise, sometimes like things happen. Like when bad things happen to me in my life, like if something bad happens, and obviously not like crazy bad, but if it's like something you would consider like a bad thing, I'll be like, God, man, I just thought of that to myself a few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden it happened. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy.
That happens to a lot of people. I'll dream about something that'll happen.
And then it happens.
But that's just because it's something's on your mind. But I do have weird thoughts, man, where I'll be sleeping. Or I'll about to be and I'll talk. I'm like, no. Like, I'll think of something god awful. And I'm like, no.
I know.
And Kate's like, what? I'm like, did I say that out loud? My bad, girl.
Did you punch her while you were sleeping? Like
I've elbowed her one time because I used to hockey fight when I was dreaming. Especially when I was playing still. Like, I'd always like, and I'd like kind of grab the pillow and like, she's like, Jesus, you all right? Like, I'm like, fuck, my bad. So.
What creates anxiety, do you think?
A lot of things, Andy. Stress to... drug abuse to all kinds of stuff. Age maybe.
Experiences.
Yeah. Tragic experiences. Your mind playing tricks on you. It's really your mind telling you that you need to be nervous or whatever. So I've kind of lost the control. I used to be just headstrong, man, big time.
What do you mean?
With so many different things, like just with anything, I could just be like, ooh, I could talk to myself and be like, no, you're good. And I'm in a way really good at handling stress and, like my mom's situation, whatever. Like I'm good at going on the radio or going on a podcast with you and just going and not letting that just be in the back of my head. So I'm like, mopey. Like I'm good at that. But when I'm in certain particular situations, like if I'm on a fucking plane or if there's like I'm driving, there's rain and there's semi trucks on my ass on a highway, like I'll get anxiety. Like I can't be like, calm down. Like it's harder for me to calm myself down when I get older. I mean, all the anxiety I've been through, even like having to fight guys, I would be able to just be like, fuck everything. Let's go. Like I feel like now I'm a little more fragile and vulnerable upstairs a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Because all the...
No, I think it happens with age too.
Yeah, and abuse. And
the older you get, what kind of abuse? You mean like
the drug abuse and getting hit in the head and stressed out and,
How is your head?
I think it's okay. It's a little deformed.
Is it?
I mean, it's big.
Is it deformed?
Yeah, I got a big like back part where the bone sticks out.
How come your body's so small, but like your head and your feet and hands are so big? Is that
my body's? I'm pretty thick.
Well,
dude. I'm 250
I
pounds.
You're not tall though. I'm just saying.
I'm 6'4".
Your hands. No, you're not taller than me.
Yes, I am. Oh my God, you are delusional.
You're not. What are you? 5'11"?
Stand up.
Well, you got those big shoes on.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. I mean, it's not even close. Dude, you are an out of touch son of a bitch.
Listen. My shoulder is above yours, but your
the
head.
Fuck out of here.
It's like your head.
Because you're goofy looking, dude.
It's your head.
Jesus, Andy's everything better than me, but you're really not. Like you live in a fantasy fucking
height
world.
Is not better. That's not
but
saying
you
it's
thought
better.
you thought you were taller than me. You think that you're everything better than me and shit.
Okay,
I'm like,
that
Jesus.
is not better. Like
being taller?
No.
Yeah, it is.
You think?
Absolutely.
You think
Listen
if somebody's 6'2" compared to somebody who's 6'1", they're superior?
Not 6'1", Andy. If somebody walks in this room and they're 5'8",
yeah,
and somebody walks in this room and they're 6'2", and they have the same personality and they have the same vision and the same and they walked in, the 6'2" guy is going to make more of a staunch remembrance for you.
Yeah.
The guy that's bigger, the guy that has that look, if they have the same, a taller guy, you talk to a woman, women like taller guys. You talk to Doug Armstrong. If you see a fucking kid that's 6'2" instead of 5'11", what do you think? Yeah, no, he's got the fucking edge. When you walk into a bar and you're 6'4", you walk in, people notice you. It's easier to talk to girls. It's easier to do a lot of things when you have height.
No, I get that.
Then what are you talking about?
Well, by your philosophy, I mean, if you're taller than me, it's like a half inch.
Yeah, that doesn't mean much.
No. So I wasn't saying that I was better than you by saying I was taller. I honestly thought I was taller.
And I'd say
you're
better
5'11".
Well, you do think you're better than me a lot. That's
well,
fine. You probably are. But
just a basketball.
But I just think that you're just like a lot of other these guys that kind of like I'm working with now that just they're in Fantasyville with all kinds of different shit. Although they're smart guys, but you thought that you were taller than me. Like you thought that, and I'm like, no, you're not.
But see, it's interesting for people who couldn't see
you
at
have
home,
this weird thing that you're bigger and stronger.
My shoulders are actually above yours, but
you don't have shoulders, Andy. God.
But your head is a massive, massive head.
All right. I know I'm goofy looking.
Dude, the Damar Hamlin situation, very scary situation in football. It's created a lot of talk.
Yeah.
Not only across the sports landscape, but also elsewhere, Cam. It's headline news.
Yeah.
And
right.
And they brought up other instances that have happened like this, in other sports. And since this is a hockey podcast, I talked to Chris Pronger yesterday, one of the 2,000 interviews that he did on this topic.
Yeah. As he should. I mean,
of course, man. And his situation was me too. His situation was different than Hamlin because he played 2 nights later. Can you believe that? And he was alert when he was in the
Hamlin
ambulance.
was out, dude. We didn't think he was
Pronger even said that he could have gotten up and skated off the ice on his own. Like, they weren't going to let him.
Yeah. But it dropped him.
Oh, no, but it knocked him out.
Yeah, he was out.
It hit his heart, and his heart skipped a beat.
Yeah.
That tells you how much oxygen your heart gets with every beat.
Yeah, no, it does. And you could set it off by just a fraction of a fraction.
Did you ever get hit with a puck in the chest?
Yeah.
Anybody ever punch you in the chest?
No, but I got my sternum cracked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling, dude, in Winnipeg.
What, did the stick get jammed into the wall and you skated around?
No, that re-cracked it then, dude.
Isn't that what happened when you got the concussion?
No, it cracked then, and then when I was in Winnipeg playing for the Devils a couple years later, I was in Winnipeg, fucking Stewart, big boy Stewart,
Chris Stewart?
No, Stewart, the defenseman.
Oh, yeah, Stuart from
Badass,
Winnipeg.
dude.
Yeah.
Cool, thick-ass dude.
Yeah. Played with maybe played for Calgary,
Yeah, played
too.
Team USA growing up. I remember playing, and he came, dumped the puck, and he came to hit me, and I stuck up on him, and we collided, like, bam! And he's like 220, 230 at the time, and he cracked my sternum again, dude, and it buckled me.
Yeah, he played 1 year in Calgary.
Yeah.
Not Winnipeg. A lot of years in San Jose. That's where I remember him the most.
He was in the Peg for a bit, though. Let's get his ass on, man. He's cool.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I thought he was, too, unless we're talking about somebody else.
Brad Stewart?
Yeah, he was a 3rd overall pick.
Yeah. Yeah, big fucking thick-ass motherfucker. There he is. Yeah. Thick boy right there.
I thought he was, I don't know why
Built
I was
like
thinking
you, Andy.
Winnipeg. Oh, really?
Yeah. Thick, like a fire hydrant.
Man.
You're a fire hydrant. What'd the kids get for Christmas? Did they
hoverboards?
Oh, really? Did they like it? Daddy good?
I fell off the hoverboard. The first time I went on it, man, I almost cracked my head open. Just you kind of lean, you can kind of fall off those things. They got a bunch of stuff, man. Like, and listen, everything happens quickly in my house because, like, Ivy's got a birthday 2 weeks before Christmas, and Chloe has a birthday 2 weeks after Christmas.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like that 4-6 week period gets a little crazy. Are you gonna get her a present? Did Kate get anything for Christmas?
Yeah, no, I hooked her up with. We're gonna go to Colorado.
You draw her a picture.
No, I got the paint thing. I'm going to do that down at Table Rock. I'm going to bring up my little painting kit down there.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. You should do that.
Well, we got a really cool cabin that looks over a fucking big thing because we don't need to be on the water.
Yeah,
like you need to, doesn't matter because you're not using the water. So, and we're going to make fires, and I'm going to bring so much food down there.
So
we're going to get fucked up.
I suggested to a player,
I
don't want to say who, to go there over Christmas break. Yeah. They were looking for somewhere to go. Travel was a nightmare. They didn't want to get on a plane. Weren't looking to go to a big city. Like, hey, we're somewhere we can go 4 hours away in St. Louis. So a couple players went to terrible time.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd they say?
You don't go there in, like, December when it's, like, -10 out.
Well, what did they expect?
I said, you got to go back there in the spring.
Well, what? Well, you're driving 4 hours away. It's cold.
Yeah, I know.
There's so much shit to do, even in the wintertime.
I know. Well, they went and did, like, but, you know, it was really cold, dude.
Andy always thinks that, like anytime he was chirping me on the radio the other day about going down to Big Sur. I'm like, that's
dude. We went there. My family went there.
Why
we had a great
time.
It? The timing that they went was not good.
Yeah.
Not playing golf. They've got like these Tiger Wood golf courses there, right?
Yes,
it's like for people who don't know, it's like
great
golf.
Yeah.
The restaurants were good and whatever, but you know, he said it was very crowded.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, fuck.
So
find
it was
a secluded
super
cabin.
Crowded,
then.
yeah.
Crowded where? At the restaurants in December?
Everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, he probably went to goddamn Silver Dollar City instead of fucking Big Cedar Lodge. No, dude.
He went
Come
to Big
on.
Cedar.
All right, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
It's never crowded in there. I don't know. Maybe it is. I've never seen it, but I think you probably told him something different.
No, when I went there, it was not crowded at all.
Never.
And the weather was like, we really lucked out with the weather.
Dude, I didn't see one person. This huge lake when we went there in like September. Not one person on this gigantic lake. You could drive for hours all day and not even see it. Fucking, it's awesome. So,
did you watch the World Juniors?
Yes, I did. I watch
What'd you think?
pretty much every game. Canada's best team. Oh, a lot of goofy calls against that USA Canada, the semifinal.
Yeah.
And like the first one, fucking Jason Blake's kid.
Jackson.
I like Jax, dude. He's flying around doing his shit.
Yeah.
I saw Blaker up in the stand.
I will say this, man.
I texted Blake.
The
I'm like, fuck
scouting
it.
report that I got from some people about Jackson did not line up with what I saw with my own two eyes.
Yeah, he looked good. But that goal that he just barely nicked. I mean, I'm like, fuck. And then they took away the other one, which is more of a shove. But the first one,
the first one, I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's a goal, though. It's just a goal.
It's a hockey goal.
It's just a goal. Like, you're in there. Like, you're not bumping. Like, you barely touch. That's a goal.
The second one, hey, if you're taking the stick and you're shoving the goaltender's pad, you know that's never going to be
you pushing a guy in. You can't
I
do
thought
that.
the only reason why maybe they will count it is because they're like, okay, we just disallowed another one like a few minutes ago. Maybe we'll count this one. But
I'll say this, too, in some of those games, man. It was so fast. You're like, these guys are NHL dudes.
Oh, yeah.
They're skating like NHL guys.
They are. The way they move the puck. But
you watch a junior team, you're like, yeah. You watch those guys.
Oh, yeah. It's the best of the best.
They're fucking cruising, dude. I watched every fucking
the World Junior, listen, it's better when countries like Slovakia and the Czech Republic, Czechia. When they're competitive, like obviously,
because there's not much competition.
But you don't have Russia there.
It's a big.
It's just a big loss, man. Like I want to see the Russians. I want to see the top, 19-year-old Russian players participate and compete against Canada and USA. I don't need to watch a quarterfinal game with a team winning 11-1. Like that's garbage hockey.
11-1, I know.
That's not. Like I gotta sit there on it. They have the games on NHL Network, which is a whole nother story, because like the TSN broadcast, they're there, they're doing their thing. The NHL Network coverage, listen, they did their best. I'm not gonna sit here.
Why, you didn't like them?
No, I would have liked maybe the broadcast to be live on site.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any reason right now that you're not there live.
They weren't live there.
So if you're gonna call a game out of a studio, I'd rather just hear. Mike Johnson and Gord Miller just called the game.
Who was it?
I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't want to make it about them.
Well, I'm just asking.
But I'm just saying, in general, we're kind of out of the COVID phase. We're not in lockdown. There's no reason not to be there.
No.
It's in Canada. It wasn't in like Siberia. You had to. It was in Canada. That's pretty easy to get to.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like go broadcast the games live.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's all I'm saying. I was talking to some players, and they agree. They're like, there's like 2 or 3 good teams, like maybe 2 teams.
I know.
That are good. And everybody else
it's a huge gap.
Can't compete.
They can't even keep up.
No.
It's embarrassing.
It's like going to a youth hockey tournament, and you're winning you should never win a game in a tournament like that by double-digit goals. Like 11?
No, by more than 5.
Oh, my God.
It should be that competitive.
And like Connor Bedard is the greatest thing that's ever. It's like, he's walking all these kids from
He did good in big time situations.
He's Listen, he's a great player. I'm not gonna like.
He's gonna be good. Somebody's gonna get him. I know we love the Witt dog and Biz and the boys. Mm-hmm. And I heard Witt say something like, everyone's like, Bedard's gonna go to Chicago, and Witt actually said, and I'm like, yeah, it makes kind of sense. He goes, they're not gonna give fucking the number 1 pick to Chicago after what they've been through. They're going to give it to fucking Bettman's little fucking toy down in Arizona with that new rink, and they're going to get Connor Bedard and build that up down there and say, no, this is a success.
Yeah, and see, I told you that they were going to get a new building. This is why we've been patient.
This is why we do this.
I was right. We knew.
We're patient.
I was right. Arizona
Never mind your fucking escrow.
Always going to turn it
Never
around.
mind your escrow that we've dug into you for the last, because of this damn organization. Yeah. Never mind that. Yeah. But now it's working.
And all this money we've given them.
Do you believe that?
And now they're going to have money to pay us back, and we're going to be able to take advantage of. And then they're going to get Austin Matthews too, right? And then they'll just team it all up.
And now they're going to be fucking.
Although I don't know if he's going to sign there.
That'd be cool though. It'd be cool if they built that up down. You get Connor Bedard, and you get Austin Matthews. Like people are going to come watch you.
Oh yeah,
people will come from Canada.
Well, if I'm Austin Matthews. Like I'm the one who single-handedly put Scottsdale, Arizona on the map when it comes to hockey, and I don't need this kid from Canada coming in and getting all the attention, all the glory.
Or how would I play with him? We both dominate.
That's what
2 shooters, geez, 2 best shooters in the league.
But I'd have no problem if he went to Chicago.
I wouldn't either.
Maybe
it'd be good for hockey.
Yeah, maybe he can play with Kane. Maybe Kane stays there or comes back and signs there and plays.
Yeah, I think that.
But I don't want to see Chicago get rewarded either. Listen, we can go in. We don't need to go in, on and on and on. But Chicago, the way everything was handled with this whole situation,
they need to sit back a little bit and fucking take a beating. That's what I'm saying.
Just take it.
You're
not about to help your ass.
Exactly right. Like it'd probably be good for hockey, and I like I like their unis. I like the city. They're cool as shit. When they were on 15. 13, 10, that fucking
cool-ass
team
teams,
was pimped out, badass. You go to that rink, 23,000 people from everywhere. They come in from Chicago. Chicago's so cool. You can't go to a bar without seeing people with jerseys on everywhere in that town. Cougars cruising around out the fucking zoo.
Years ago, I was there.
God damn.
The Blues were playing the Hawks, but the night before, they were playing the Buffalo Sabres. Chicago was. They had back-to-back home games. Yeah. And so I went to the Sabres game the night before. And it's funny because I actually sat and watched that game with Donnie Granato, who's now the head coach of the Sabres. He was scouting for the Maple Leafs or the Canucks or somebody at the time. It's kind of funny now that I think about it. But I remember tweeting that Chicago had the best in-game entertainment in the league.
In-game and on the ice.
No, but I'm just talking like just the entertainment.
Atmosphere, the song,
the
music.
The song, everything.
You look around, everybody's red. They have red jerseys.
The intro, the national anthem.
Oh, there you go.
Everything.
Forgot about that,
You know what I'm saying? They would have this on the video board. And Chicago has always done it right. You go back to when Michael Jordan was playing for the Bulls.
Yes, they did.
You know, just the introductions were like...
Any of the Bull, too?
Oh, my God. The introductions for the Bulls game were like must-see television.
Yeah.
You wanted to hear the guy say from North Carolina.
That
whatever.
old 90s techno song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, people were getting pissed. I got, like, people from, like, different organizations. Like, you shouldn't say that. You
Fuck
know,
that.
Like,
No, we're realists here. I'll
hey,
tell you what's good and what's
You're making us look bad.
When I go to Vegas and I look at her, I'm like, God damn right.
Yeah. But then things collapsed. And I think a lot of it had to do with the former president of the team, man.
Yeah,
John McDonough.
They were on a high. They were on such a.
Who
you can only carry that high.
Taking the heat, most of, if not all of the heat, for how this entire Kyle Beach situation went down.
We haven't heard much about that.
It should be on John McDonough, and I'm telling you this right now because Joel Quenneville should be back in coaching in the NHL, and I'm just my feeling is, you know, Gary in the league, and I kind of get it. I don't agree with it, but I kind of get it from their perspective because things are going pretty well right now in the NHL. Except you got Torts like calling out the All-Star game and stuff like that. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But, you know, the last thing Gary Bettman wants, okay, yeah, we're going to get Joel Quenneville back behind a bench in the NHL, but then guess what? Now we got to relive the Kyle Beach situation for several weeks because, you know, that story's going to come back up.
Anything new with that?
No.
Did he sue or anything? Anything going on?
I don't know.
You get a big settlement?
Oh, yeah.
How much money?
I don't know. I bet you I bet you 9-10 million. That's my guess.
Wow.
I don't even know, dude. So
I follow him on Instagram. I haven't seen it.
So I
can pay him.
But I'm not making this about him. All I'm saying is the way this was handled, the people who took the fall, I'm not saying they didn't deserve any responsibility whatsoever, so don't try to read into what I'm saying. Is all I'm saying, the main culprit, the person who was responsible at the top at the time, has gotten off scot-free.
Yeah. I get you on that.
Okay,
very bizarre.
And guys like Joel Quenneville, Stan Bowman, like who knows if they'll ever coach or manage again? I would think that they would. But what does everybody say that comes on with us when I ask, should Joel Quenneville be coaching?
They say yes. They all say yes without hesitation. Yeah, but we're getting like the real people, like, you know, we're getting guys that get it. The guys the loud people that say no. They're not on our podcast. You know, like the media will say no. And look, I get it, man. It was fucked up. And we said this before and we love Joel, but like, you got to know what's going on. Like, you see these guys every fucking day. The video coach coming in, like, what did you do last night? You can smell shit on. If you know he went out, you can't hide anything in those locker rooms, dude.
No.
If you even went out a little bit, like somebody knows or somebody, like, there's always something. Like, you can't hide that.
No.
You're a black guy. You can't hide the fucking video coach.
Knowing Joel Quenneville, if he knew his video coach
hanging out with a player as a coach is inappropriate.
It is.
Having a fucking beer with a player at a bar and hanging out like you guys called each other is inappropriate.
You think? As buddies?
Dude, a coach calling a player that's not even on a team.
Oh.
And saying, let's go have beers together.
That's not on the team.
That's well, even if he is on a team. Even if the video coach called one of the young guys that plays on the fucking Blackhawks and said, hey, let's go have beers together.
No, that's weird.
That's inappropriate. You don't do that.
You're not comparing it to a guy who, like, retires as a player.
No.
And now he's an assistant coach. And, like, some of the guys on the team are his buddies because they played together.
Coaches are in a different category. You don't hang out with your play unless your fucking Berube wants to talk with fucking Ryan O'Reilly about being
right.
But, like, a video coach hanging out with players. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like a weird, like, when you're in high school and all of a sudden, like, a teacher who's young who works there, like, wants to come like to the high school parties,
or they'll like to.
Dude, we had a dude like that.
Gee, Andy, that's fucked up.
And I was never like involved in like hanging out with him, and I was never involved with any of like the coordination of. But this dude was like he was the school interpreter for a hearing impaired student.
Oh fuck!
And so everybody knew the teacher.
How old?
High school, dude, like senior year.
No. How old was the dude?
He was probably like low 30s.
Oh, Andy.
I know,
that's
dude.
God awful.
Oh, dude, he was not. So then we'd show up parties. All of a sudden, this dude would like be there. Like I'm like, yeah, I just was very uncomfortable with it. I didn't like to run into a teacher at a damn grocery store. It was weird when you were a kid. Seeing a teacher outside of school was always weird. But even like the school interpreter, man, I don't know. You don't need to be hanging out at high school parties.
I know. I will know. I do.
I told you, dude, there was a police officer who worked at the school who started showing up at parties and started like
off duty
when he was off duty, whatever. Yeah.
Well, no. Did he show up because you guys were loud? And he's like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Oh no, he showed up just to hang out.
Oh, that's.
And he started like hanging out with like one of the girls in my grade. Her mom would be like, "Where is she? You can't find her, or whatever. Does anybody know where she is?" They drive by the cop's house, and her car's parked outside.
Damn. Yeah, and there's a teacher that there's a weird rumor.
He's not working at a school anymore.
There's a teacher that I went to. There's a weird rumor that he had a thing for a girl, and then they ended up getting married 2 years later or something like that.
Oh, really?
You know, they were both young.
How old was the student when they got married?
I don't know. I don't even want to fucking bring it up.
See, that's terrible.
Yeah, they're married still, I think. So it wouldn't. Fuck, I don't know. Good God, stay away from kids.
Stay away from.
Well,
kids,
you need
dude.
to. You got fucking 2 daughters, Andy, and I tell you what, you're gonna have to really monitor who she's hanging out, who's picking her up, how old the motherfucker.
Can I tell you what's going down?
I remember the cute girl. I remember guys that were a lot older. I remember having a party when I lived out in the middle of the woods. My dad's like, "Okay, you have a fucking party." Everybody came out. And we're waiting for these girls to show up. And the dude that dropped them off, and I remember like me and my brother looking, he's like, "What the fuck is," and this guy's like 6 years older, and he's dropping off these high school girls, and we're like, "Get the fuck out of here. Why are you hanging out with them, you weirdo?" Like I remember seeing that like, damn, you got nothing in college? You're not only hanging out with high school, you're picking them up and driving them all the way the fuck out to buttfuck Idaho, where I live in the middle of the woods, and then dropping off and expect to hang out when we want to. Then they're in our grade, and you're way out of. What the fuck? Me and my brother embarrassed the shit out of them. Anyway,
so my daughter over the break, so she turns 12 today. Actually, the day that this is being released.
Creepy dudes, man.
No, dude, we ain't got any of that.
Well, there's always going to be creepy guys.
She started like a TikTok account.
Right.
But her TikTok, hey, all y'all out there, just so you know, her account's on my phone. It's not even on her phone. Yeah. So, like, I know who's like.
That's what I mean by that. Yeah. So, here's what I mean
by
that.
So that's the way I roll with that type of stuff, right? She wants to do one of her things,
that's
man.
Fine,
it's all good,
dude.
man.
You can't, like, shun her down. No, she's going to do it anyway.
So, but now, now she's got her first boyfriend, right? And it could be done. Okay. It could be over in a week. Yeah. It could be over in whatever. I don't read too much into it. But, you know, he texted her, "Will you be my girlfriend?" type thing, you know.
How old is she?
She turns 12 today, as in Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in. You got through. Here's my point. It's just, are they the same age?
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on that. Just make sure you just, so-and-so's picking me up. Oh, yeah.
No, none of that.
How old is he? No, not yet, Andy. I'm saying way down the road. I'm saying whenever the license thing, when you're in high school and she's a freshman, the seniors are going to take advantage of that. And you just need to know who's picking her up and driving your fucking daughter around. Yeah. Some fuck boy with a big hot rod fucking car that wants to show off and have 15 swinging dicks in
like
there.
That truck you showed up in today. God, you ain't picking my daughter up in that, dude.
That thing's safe, though. Know what the shitty cars are? The dipshit RS7s or whatever. Those little nerdy cars. RX7s, where they want to put a huge
spoiler.
They go on their and they drive.
Dual exhaust.
They have terrible traction, and they want to show off because they have speed. When you have a big truck like that, you just drive around in a big fucking truck like you're safe on the road. You rule the road. But the dipshits with these fast cars in high school that they have no idea how to drive. You got 15 dudes in the back of your Mustang is way down. You have no traction, and all you want to do is drive fast. If you have a fast car, it's hard not to drive fast, especially when you're a dipshit 16-year-old. So that's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Just be aware of that shit, Andy. Or I'm going to have to come over and fucking take care of business.
We had girlfriends in 6th grade.
Yeah. Oh, 6th grade? Yeah, that's right.
100%.
I remember going to a girl's house, like, they dropped me off. Mom, Jennifer told me to come over, and I'm like, hi. You want to look at this thing in the back? I'm like, yeah. It was just never like,
did you wear your sweatpants?
When I was young, I was never like, I'm gonna tap that ass. No, I was like, no, hi, I'm friends. Yeah, exactly. You're not thinking that way. Now, when I got a little bit older, then it all of a sudden hit me. Now, the only thing on my goddamn mind was that. Now, when I was 11, no. But once I hit about 12 or 13, when you're crushing guys in AAA, and we're looking at every mom on the fucking team, and it just switched on me, Andy. You're like, girls, everything. Girls, everything. Just so you know.
Yeah.
You would never like that.
Well, I look at the moms in the carpool lane now.
Do they like you? Do they like, there's Andy?
I tell my wife, I'm always like, you're the hottest wife, hottest mom in the carpool lane.
Yeah. It's a compliment. Ledoux? Yeah, it's a compliment.
No, I like to look around. Because you sit there, Cam. You know what I'm saying?
So you creep. Just say it.
You wave.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Melanie.
Yeah.
Hi.
How is everybody? How was your holiday?
How are you? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Your holiday card.
Yeah.
Your holiday card was beautiful.
Hi. Fuck. Yeah, I don't even.
You know, man. See, Cam, this is where
I don't even want to be around that.
You're gonna have to live vicariously through me, with this type of shit.
It's not like I'm jealous. No.
I'm
trying to help
that is
you.
not that. No, but you're not gonna have that experience right now until Kate gets pregnant.
Which
is gonna happen.
My sperm's hey, I'll work now.
In 2023, that'll happen.
I mean,
this is the year.
I'm not dumping loads in her. I mean, it is what
you name her Cedar, dude. I mean, it could happen a big Cedar. It could be this weekend.
I don't know.
Now you got that pickup truck. What are you going to do with all that room in the back?
I'm not taking that thing down there. I don't need to.
You'd fit right in.
Yeah. The roads are too small down there for me. That big fuck thing.
Cam, they all.
I got a big. They gave me
the roads are not too
big
small.
Dodge Ram, brand new Dodge Ram.
Hey, the Rams are not too. The roads are not too small.
Oh my God, where we're going? Yeah, they are. They're one lane.
I don't know.
They're hard to park.
The same place.
No, you went to the cheap
the
version.
one lane. Yeah. No, when you drive through to get to your cabin. You went to fucking
Cedar. You went to the cheap section and where the kids stuff is. We're in the big cabins with it's a different story.
We weren't next to all that. We had to drive to get to the little part with the
you had to go under that one lane bridge and go through.
Yeah, no,
that's
now
why.
that you're saying that,
no, exactly.
Yeah, you're not fitting through that.
I thought you were at
no. You're not fitting through that.
No shit. So I'm not taking the truck.
Hey, don't take the truck there, Cam.
I know. Thanks, Andy.
Just making sure you know.
Andy's always on top of things.
Don't you take that guy. Hey, what'd you think of Torts? Listen, everyone was like, "Oh, this is a perfect fit, he and Philly." No, I didn't know if it would be.
I don't know.
Because Torts, he gets grumpy and then the media will react negatively and it'll turn into a little bit of a conflict. We're seeing that right now because he's going to be who he is. I mean, they're asking him about the All-Star game and Travis Konechny and he's not going to the game and he's like, I don't give a shit. And
I don't give a shit either.
And then somebody asked him a question and he's like, I don't understand your question.
And he's like, I don't get what?
Yeah, but sometimes you act like you know what he's asking. It just wasn't asked very well. So he's being a dick.
Yeah, he's being a dick.
And he's kind of being like, I'm bigger than you. Yeah. So I'm going to talk down to you. Yep. But when I get fired, then I'm going to be looking for a media job.
Yeah, and I know.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll take your fucking job. And then I'll talk shit to you and treat you like you're a piece of shit when I get a coaching job.
But they do the same to him. They
Torts. Listen, everyone I know who's worked with Torts loves this guy personally. They say what a great guy he is, and I believe it. Sometimes the act gets a little tired.
It's the same thing with a lot of coaches and athletes. They're cool, but they fucking hate that media, boy.
They do.
They don't fucking care for you. They don't give a fuck.
They
look down upon you.
They just want to coach.
They hate you.
Yeah.
They can't stand you. They look at you as a different kind of
and I've talked
subculture.
To him multiple times trying to get him on this show, and he's very respectful.
His ass on.
No, he's very respectful.
Yeah,
could not be nicer. I hear that from
us.
I hear that from people who know him very well.
Yeah,
the Yarmos, the JDs, the Bradshaws. These guys have always said he's an unbelievable
Prusty boy.
Yeah, they say he's a great. I mean, a lot of the players we've had on who have played for him, most of them,
none of them,
tend to like playing for him. Some don't, obviously, but some don't like playing for the nicest guy in the world either. It's all about your own personal situation.
I want a coach to be a little more hard on the older guys So people get pissed at coaches because they're too hard, and people get pissed at coaches because they're not hard enough on the big stars, and they get to do what the fuck they want. He's hard on that Kevin Hayes.
Well, he scratched him.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care about the All-Star game. And I'm like, I don't care about the All-Star game either. I don't give a fuck about it. It's the stupidest thing
locally. This is where it becomes stupid. And listen, I love Vladdy Tarasenko, man. And there's been, he's been, he's a great representative for the Blues. There's been plenty of times where he deserved to go. There's probably been a lot of times where he went and wasn't deserving, and there was times when he didn't go, and he was deserving to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this time, why pick him?
This time, I think he would probably even agree. Like, okay, so you're not in the playoffs, and I think at the time when it was announced, he was 4th on the team in scoring.
Yeah.
Like, this one is just like, it doesn't even make sense on the surface. It makes zero sense.
I know. When that happened, I'm like, you're not going to get Robert Thomas? Right. Or how about you're representing the Blues? He's unrestricted. You never know what's going to happen. You got 2 guys that are willing, Kyrou and Thomas,
I think the league,
that have $64 million contracts are going to be here for the next 7 years. Why wouldn't you pick one of them?
Because I think the people from the league are looking at it like, how do we finally sell this All-Star game? Nobody watched the game last year in Vegas.
You're gonna bring a
the
Russian
ratings are down. They're talking about having a stupid-ass dunk tank on the beach in Miami where players shoot a puck and try to dunk a player that's in a
riveting.
Okay, so they try too hard. And, we had Matthew Schneider on with us, who obviously high up right now with the PA. He's like, yeah, we're talking to the league about how we don't have the All-Star game because the guys don't want to go.
Travel and shit.
But with the Blues, man, I love Vladdy. It's not about that.
So what are you talking about? Because you just said they're trying to pump it up. So you're
I'm saying
pick up a Russian?
Yeah. So I'm saying, yeah, so thank you for reminding me because I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I bet you they just were like, okay, who's going to be the biggest draw that we can?
Vladdy would be?
Oh, he's the biggest star on the team outside of St. Louis.
You're not going to get anything out of him. He doesn't he's not into interviews.
Yeah, but you're speaking from a realist standpoint.
I'm speaking how you going to, if I'm picking out the motherfuckers on each team, I want to pick out whoever's going to bring the most for the organization.
Okay, but if you're outside of St. Louis and you think about the Blues, who's the most popular player on the Blues?
Right now.
No, I'm just saying who is over the years.
Vladdy is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so they're like, oh, we're gonna send Vladdy. It's like, what?
All right.
But he's 4th on the team in scoring. So listen, I would have had no problem. Nobody would have a problem if they chose Kyrou. He's been on fire as of late. He's leading the team in scoring.
Yeah, it's he's gonna be part of your organization forever.
But he went last year. But Robert Thomas, he should finally get an opportunity. Pavel Buchnevich actually leads the team in points per game. He hadn't played as many games as those guys because he missed some games with injury.
He's awesome, by the way.
But he may be their best player anyway.
I know. He made an awesome play the other day. He's tough.
Dude, he's awesome.
He is cool. I like Bucci. It is weird, Andy.
This one just doesn't seem...
The Vladdy thing where, he's
and
representing
I thought the teams could get involved with some of this decision-making. And maybe not. I don't know. Remember when the Blues had the game and all the Blues players made the All-Star game a few years back in 2019?
I went to that. That was fun.
You only get 7 players per division. I think the Blues had 3 of them or something.
I partied with Witt and RA that night.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
We all went, yeah.
I remember.
Man, they're fun, man. That was actually fun. We had a nice 4 years here in St. Louis, all y'all out there. Mm-hmm. We had goddamn the Winter Classic was a blast. Andy and I were a big part of that. Got to skate and big things, and then the All-Star game, doing our shit, partying with everybody.
No, there's been some great events.
There's some great events here, man. Stanley Cup was cool for us on a selfish note.
But Robert Thomas,
we act like we won it.
He's one of the top passers in the game. He should
can we support him?
He should be in the All-Star.
He's the next face of the he's the face of the Blues right now. Him and Kyrou, they're the young talent. Show him off.
People don't want to admit it. People are they're all hard on Kyrou all the time because he makes mistakes because he's not a perfect player.
What if Vladdy gets traded?
Hey, I'll say this. The way the Blues are playing right now, I mean, they look
pretty damn good.
Now they're maybe don't look as damn. They're scoring goals. I mean, the shot totals obviously aren't very impressive. They're getting outshot badly in a lot of these games, but they're finding ways to win. They go on a 4-game road trip, and they win 3 of them. When everyone thought the ceiling was going to cave in because you don't have O'Reilly, Tarasenko, and Krug, man. It's interesting. Sometimes when you remove strong personalities out of the room, it just gives everybody else, everyone focuses on, well, now they're going to get more opportunity. Well, yeah, they're going to get more touches and maybe get some power play time that they weren't getting before, maybe play with better players. But it also just kind of gives them a little more okay, now I got a bigger voice inside the dressing room. Yep. I can have a little more confidence.
Young guys start taking over a little bit.
The team starts playing quicker.
It can go one way or the other, Andy. One way.
It could go the other way.
The other way, you're lost. We need our big dogs.
And I think eventually you will.
Yeah.
But maybe
right now they're
in the short term, this
is
obviously proven to be just okay, But anyway, so far so good, right? I mean, like, it's 4 games. We'll see how it goes. The Blues got a long homestand coming up. A couple other things I want to get into.
Can I just give a shout out to the Devils real quick?
Yeah, because Jack Hughes, dude.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That whole team's cool. They got big defensemen, too. They're small forwards, but they got big defensemen.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch. All y'all Devils fans, man. Good for you to have, I know it took a long time. I know you had 20 years of basically excellence.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer than that.
Yeah.
But anyway, good for you. You got an awesome team. And that Jackie Hughes,
yeah.
is he going down to Hoboken and sniffing around, that kid? Good for you, kid.
Jewish, I believe.
Everybody's Jewish to you, man. Shit.
I believe he is. There was a guy who had a song. Maybe Jason can find the song and play it. But like he had like the Adam Sandler song, the Hanukkah song.
Mm-hmm.
He did one for hockey players. This guy.
Oh yeah.
He named all the hocky players
They're Jewish.
Yeah. I was raised Presbyterian, just so people know.
Yeah. And he's got to throw that out there.
I'm Presbyterian.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Methodist, probably. You
I
think?
don't even know. I don't know.
Like, can you break down Methodist? What that means?
No, I can't, Andy. No, I can't.
What about Presbyterian?
Don't know.
I was baptized back in the day.
I think I was too.
Mm-hmm.
I invited Jesus into my heart one time, and I actually felt something when I was a kid. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, I pray in. My brother's like, stop doing that. I'm like, no, because I was at this youth group thing. And they're like, Cam, invite Jesus into your heart. And I'm like, okay. And I did it. Mm-hmm. And I came home feeling like, yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, let's go. I was a young kid, and I go to my mom. I go, Mom, I invited Jesus into my heart.
She was not happy about it.
She wasn't happy about it.
Not
that she don't like Jesus, but she just she'll do that.
It's a sensitive topic.
Yeah, I'm like bright-eyed, like, my. And she's like, what the fuck?
Did you have a nativity scene outside your front yard?
No.
Or in your mantle or anything? Or
no. I mean, I don't think so. Maybe for Christmas stuff. Kate has everything. Our house is fucking Hallmark.
It's orange.
What?
Jesus. Your orange dogs.
And they're orange, dude. Little babies.
I love it. Hey,
they're my babies.
Jack Hughes on a tear, but it kind of leads me to my next point because, man, they're down on Alexis Lafreniere.
Get the motherfucker. I'll take that.
Lafreniere, exactly. What is he, 21? Can everybody just calm down? Listen, you can't compare it to a situation like these guys like Jack Hughes, even Clayton Keller to a lesser extent, because Keller wasn't the first overall pick. But when they go to these shitty-ass teams, what happens?
Yeah, they struggle.
No. You get every opportunity.
Oh, well, whatever.
Right? You're on number 1 power play. You're on the ice all the time.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
And you're going to have the ability and the opportunity to put up points that, like Lafreniere, for example. Like Jack Hughes didn't go to the Rangers where all of a sudden he's got Kreider and Panarin playing ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? Like Lafreniere does. So while Jack Hughes has never played a playoff game, Lafreniere, whatever, he played like 20 playoff games last year. I think he had 9 points in 20 playoff games, something like that. You can double check. I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm wrong. I don't have notes in front of me, Cam, as you know.
Well,
so
bring a computer.
So again, like there is some value. Like if I'm the Rangers, man, I don't know. Like you drafted this guy first overall. Like you had to have known whether they're going to come in and light it up or if it's going to take a little bit of time. Relax. We all want like this instant gratification all the time. Is that what he had? 9 and 20.
Dude, he already knew that, Brody. And he's acting like,
No,
now we're all like, wow, Andy's cool.
No, so I'm just like, he's not on the first power play. I think all of his points except one this year are at even strength.
Yeah, but didn't Jack Hughes struggle too out the bat?
But he was still putting up points.
And Nico Hischier?
He was still putting up
Weren't
points.
they all
Hischier
struggling?
did a little bit, yeah. Hughes didn't struggle like this. They weren't talking about
sometimes you're on a shitty team, man.
Yeah, but you're putting up points. So I think Lafreniere, man, he doesn't get the power play time that these kids are getting. What happens all of a sudden if he's on a shitty team and he's on the number 1 power play, Cam? Is he like putting up more points? Probably.
Yeah, but I think you still see the holes in this game.
Probably.
I'd take a chance.
But here's what fans don't know, Cam. Like, what are the issues? Like, is he out sniffing around, like you say? Is he not focused? Is his nutrition bad? Is he showing up late? Does he have bad attitude? Does he not get along with his team? Like, well, what is it?
He's just not putting points.
So the fans never knew. They never know any of that stuff, right? You just kind of what you watch. But it's like JT Miller. Now all of a sudden, like, I don't know, the organization probably had to feel pretty good about him before they gave that contract. Now all of a sudden he's kind of turned into like he just comes across when you watch these games like he's like, dude, like what's the problem? With JT Miller, but he's a hell of a player. Fast. He's just kind of going through it this year. He's probably frustrated, man, because the team obviously is.
Who's the biggest disappointment so far for you? hockey-wise, like, who's supposed to be freaking good?
Florida for sure.
Florida.
It's not even close. They got defensemen on their team whose reputation exceeds their actual ability.
Like who?
Like Ekblad.
Yep.
I think he's good. I don't think he's like a number one or a great defenseman. I think he's another guy. Listen, he was drafted first overall, and he's had a nice run. Obviously, some of his seasons have been disrupted by injury. He's a hell of a player. Don't get me wrong. But he obviously, is showing that he's not capable of truly running the show on the back end. They need help defensively. They don't have first-round picks because of some stupid trades they made last year at the trade deadline that Bill Zito made that could come back to bite them. The one thing they do have is a ton of cap space, I think, this summer, and guys always want to play there. So.
Matthews, they want to play there.
And Matthews lighting it up.
Matthews lighting it up, and they're taking golf carts to the practice rink, and it's. Listen, if I'm a superstar, man, and Florida's got room for me, I'd be like,
okay, I'll be there. Yeah, but you might not win.
Florida.
It's okay.
Okay.
The check's still cash.
Wait, am I still going to
Do you think that environment, just doesn't...
resonate, like hardcore,
right.
We got to fucking put the boots to the ground. Like, it's snowing out, it's nasty out.
They're
you
wearing
get out of your
flip-flops to practice.
They're going with they're going to practice with flip-flops.
Is it too casual?
It's they got their glasses on, and when they walk in the locker room, where are we going to golf? Yeah, homie. You ain't asking that up in god dang, I don't know, Minnesota or Winnipeg, who's dominating,
Hey, I listen, I don't want to say anything bad about Paul Maurice
or
because
Boston,
he's a pretty damn good guy. But, all of a sudden, I don't know. He's not there in Winnipeg. The team turned it around. They're playing some great hockey.
They are playing. They're weird, man, that organization.
Hey, Florida, why didn't you keep Andrew Burnett? It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's because Paul Maurice. Paul Maurice has been coaching for a long time. I think he's a good coach. But for whatever reason, he's come in there, and they won the President's Trophy last year, and now they're going to miss the playoffs. That's not good, Cam.
It ain't good, man. You did a lot of big things.
No matter who you are as the coach, man, you got to take some heat. You got to take some blame on that.
Meanwhile, you got a powerhouse in Boston. Jimmy Montgomery, we're going to give you a little shout-out, homie. Trent Frederick, we're going to give you another little shout-out. He had a great fight the other day.
And he was going after that Zegras last night.
I saw that. He's going to have Zegras. Go bully his ass. I love Ziggy, too. Whatever.
I think Zegras may have said something to their bench.
So what?
Go
by. Bump into him. What? What are you going to do?
I know.
What are you going to do?
But then they lost 7-1. So they woke up the bear, basically, which is the Boston. Okay, it was 2-1 at that point in time when Zegras scored.
Listen, it's hard to chirp whenever your team's not good. Because you chirp some of these guys, the Boston team like Marchand and Bergie, they're like, what?
Can I put out a hot take?
Dominate you.
Having Pat Verbeek on the show and watching Pat Verbeek as a player and getting a sense for what he stands for, and he's kind of like a no-nonsense guy.
Yeah, big time.
And I think I talked to him actually when they were here in St. Louis, man. He was awesome. And I think he's he's not losing his mind about winning and losing right now. He's got a ton of cap space. They're going to get a high draft pick.
Yeah, they are.
And,
they might get fucking big boy, too.
This is all about building.
Yep.
I just don't feel like Zegras is a Pat Verbeek type player.
I know.
And I'm just like, how do you go about that? How do you get away from having to pay this guy what he's going to be able to command? The fact that he's your most popular player on the team, he sells all the jerseys. The league is just pushing him out in front. He's like last year at the All-Star game wearing a dodgeball uniform from the movie.
Yeah, he's on the commercial.
And he's on the commercials. How do you kind of get out in front of that? And do you truly believe he's a guy that you can win with, man? Is he a winning player? I mean, I know he's got a lot of flash.
He's a hell of a hockey player.
Yeah.
But you got to surround him with some guys that could put him in his place. And I don't think you have that, right?
No.
I've seen this before, too. When you get a young kid, he gets a ton of attention.
I don't think Getzlaf was like that either. I think last year he was just kind of more okay, I know I'm done.
You need somebody to keep these young kids in line. Not that they're doing anything, but they're not in line like they're partying. No more in line on the ice.
Not Shaddy's personality.
It's not Shaddy. He ain't going to say anything. He's probably buddies with everybody.
Strom's kind of cool.
Yeah, Stromer's cool as hell. We had him on.
Yeah, super cool.
I just think you need to surround him with better. So it's not like Pat Verbeek's we can't have this kid. No, you can because he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But you need to surround him with guys that could be no, get that damn puck out of the corner.
No,
don't do that. No, hold on to it there or whatever.
Remember Pronger was on with us and he talked about that one year he was in Edmonton and they always wanted days off and everything.
He's like,
and
fuck
he was
you.
like, you guys
are fucking, we're losing.
Don't you want to fucking win? No, let's come in and practice, and then you can go have your
fun.
Go
do your shit.
Yeah.
I know.
And
you need a motherfucker.
Well, you don't have a lot of guys like that anymore.
You need a motherfucker. And it doesn't even be a big, tough guy. This is a guy that's loud, that does his shit. Like a third-line penalty kill guy. I don't give a fuck. That's played 1,000 games. Somebody to be like, no. Get that goddamn thing in at that point. Mm-hmm. Don't dipsy-doodle there. No, don't talk shit when you're down by one anyway. Now you woke up fucking Brad Marchand? Are you crazy? Shut the fuck up and play. Mm-hmm. Like something like that.
Yeah. So Patty Verbeek as a GM, he can't do it all the time, man.
No, you as a GM, no, but you can get a guy to do it for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Are those guys harder to find nowadays?
Yeah, probably. No, but like, it's not about. It doesn't need to be David Backus or like somebody that's a big. It just needs to be a personality that has swag in the locker room.
Right.
That's an old school motherfucker. Like, stop doing that. We need to do this. Your coach can only do so much. Your GM certainly can only do so much. It's the guys on the team that look at you like, hey, Ziggy, let's fucking go here.
Right.
Stop doing this fucking dipsy doodle. No, do this.
You know who's like that?
Who?
Is Vladdy a little bit.
What do you mean?
Vladdy will get in the face of a teammate if necessary.
Good.
To let him know, as a veteran guy with some of the younger guys.
Yeah, right.
But the younger guys like Vladdy. Yeah. Like Robert Thomas and Cairo and those guys, man. Yeah, Tarasenko.
Yeah, dude, we're talking to an audience everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
you just made it clear.
Not in St. Louis.
You just made it clear who I was talking about.
We're talking to Saskatchewan motherfuckers.
Dude,
they're not your people. They're my people.
Happy New Year to all my people.
I got my people in Sweden and Finland.
Well, I get messages from people in Sweden.
All over the place. Mm-hmm. It's your boy from fucking, Netherlands. I'm like, what's up, homie? Like, okay. See, remember, Vladdy, there's a lot of Vladdies going on. Vladdy Payton. You got a lot of Vladdies. So they're probably like, fucking Putin. No shit, Putin.
What do you think Putin did for the holidays? You think he was hanging out with Boot?
I think he killed a couple more
Victor?
People. I think
have they been in touch? Have they been talking?
Funny.
No.
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly, but I would say probably yes, Andy. But anyway, I would say Putin probably. I know he threw a couple more people. It's so weird. These oligarchs that oppose Putin and what he's doing, they need new shoes, they need new balconies because they keep falling off these motherfucking balconies, Andy.
Oh, really? Just
these oligarchs
randomly?
Keep falling off these high-rise buildings.
Is it icy?
It must be icy up in India, by the way, which is very warm. But it must be ice up there.
Does it snow in India?
It must.
I haven't asked
in the north.
a lot of
India has mountains out the west. India's gigantic.
I know a number of people that are from there.
Gigantic.
Yeah.
And then southern India, where all the rivers come in, and you got all that fucking
I'll talk to the neighbors. I didn't know that.
But it's weird. These oligarchs, they keep gosh dang slipping, and they're falling out of these 100-story buildings.
Like
very
just
bizarre.
Splat hitting the ground.
Yeah, it's very weird.
God, one fell off a yacht. To go out.
One fell off a yacht in the middle of the Atlantic.
What's the worst way to go out?
Burned to death.
Oh,
buried alive. Jeez, Andy, what the fuck? Drowning ain't good. I mean, how about the dude? Hey guys out there, I know you're the dude from He played for the Browns, number 40.
Yeah.
And he was on Madden.
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis. Thank you, Andy. So he's down. He's down in Florida. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. His little kids.
He saved them, and they're fine. And they're healthy.
Because there's a fucking. Because, man, and I'm going to Florida in March. Because there was goddamn riptide.
See the riptides?
The fucking riptides, man. It sucked these
pictures.
kids out, and he went in. He's still in critical condition, I think.
It's amazing.
That's why I'm going down there.
I saw the pictures of him on the beach being like rescued.
That's why I don't trust you to save your kids. So I feel like I need to go down to Florida. If you're going to go to Florida,
are you a good swimmer like that?
Not with riptide swimming. No one is. He's an unbelievable athlete. That riptide will get you. You got to know. I think the kids got in there. It fucking sucked him out. He goes out there, saves them, but somehow he drowned. I don't know.
Didn't that happen with like Blaine Gabbert too? Like the quarterback of Tampa Bay.
He saved somebody
with his brothers.
Man, scary.
He's good buddies with
he's a cool kid.
Patty Maroon, by the way.
He's a cool kid.
In Tampa.
Yeah. Handsome.
I think a lot of those or some of those football players and hockey players kind of like hang out together. They mix.
Yeah.
Intertwine. I'll tell you, so Washington is slowly but surely becoming the coolest team in the league again because they got Backstrom and
they
Wilson
got Willie
back.
back.
But my favorite player in the league, man, and there's highlight reels of him from just this season that I highly recommend people go out there and watch. It's all over Twitter. The most exciting player to watch right now for me is Erik Karlsson, dude.
Yeah, he's good.
And I don't even like watching the Sharks, but I like watching him.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
My opinion's starting to change a little bit. Because I know like teams are like going to be – he hadn't been very good the last couple of years, and he makes a lot of money, so even if a team or if the San Jose was willing to eat half or whatever, you still got to take him on board for 5 years or whatever. I mean, it's a lot of commitment. But if you know you're getting this guy, like it's not just because Brent Burns is gone, man. I mean, I'm sure that's a lot to do with it, but it can't just be that. Yeah, he's got to be healthy now too, you know.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
Dude, he's making some crazy plays.
Yeah, on the blue line.
His passing,
like he fools you so much when you go and being a winger and going out to a point with a guy like that. Like it's just like they could do so much.
He leads the NHL, I think, in even strength points. He's like 4th overall in scoring or something like that. He leads defensemen in every offensive category.
Yeah, he's all over the
dominating.
Place. He gets back, he'll break it up, and he'll spin around the net.
Normally, I don't like those guys to get the Norris, but I'd be okay if he got it.
Yeah, man, he's doing awesome. He cut his hair, did his shit, walks the line, fakes you out, makes you look fucking dumb on the point.
Yes.
You got to stop. He breaks your ankle, and he comes down. He creates a 2-on-1. Blah, 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 blah. Can make a pass, not knowing where the guy's at. He can shoot the puck, go bar down. He's good, dude. Hey,
we're thinking about Marc-Andre Fleury, too. I guess he had to leave the team for a couple of days. I guess he's going to rejoin the team in New York. I think they play the Rangers next. I don't know, personal matter.
I know he's, like, kind of losing it in practice, I heard, or something like that.
Getting, like, upset.
Yeah. Well, then Chris Mace. I tried to fight everybody. We love you, Mace. Remember I chirped you Mace? Like, fuck you. Uh-huh. We should have sent you to the loony bin, Mace. What are you talking about? We got to get him on. We love Chris Mace.
I know, we got to get Mace on.
He was so fun. He was fun.
He was great with the media too.
Awesome guy.
All right, let's get to Dean Lombardi. We're like best friends, by the way. He's texting me again last night.
Them Cowboys.
Dude, this guy's out in Idaho with the Cowboys.
Yeah, real Cowboys.
Who knew when we brought Dean Lombardi on that the least interesting thing about him was that he was the GM of the Stanley Cup winning LA cool Kings.
He's got a lot going on, man. I like.
He sounds like Larry Plow a little bit. He's got that East Coast.
Sounds a little Larry Plow-ish.
Yeah, he's got that idea.
Idea. I got an idea for you, but I like him, man. He was cool. Great interview. He was cool. He went on and on and on. Answered questions with, like thought out. Like wasn't just like, well, yeah, no. He's like, no, yeah, this is that. Blah 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 blah. So I can go on and on about him.
Yeah. He was awesome, dude. And he built a team. He knows how to build a winner.
Yeah, he does.
He went through a lot of shit, though.
Yeah, he did.
In L.A., man. Things kind of got out of control. He put a lot of trust into his team, what it sounded like. And I feel like maybe there was some mutual respect there. Although he's super tight with Daryl and everything. I'll let him kind of tell the story during the interview. But, he had to deal with some stuff, with the Slava Voynov situation.
Oh, God. I liked how he talked about that. He was very open and honest.
He was. You kind of had to ask the question twice sometimes to get the answer.
Yeah, because I kind of looked at you and said, "Hey, we got to kind of."
I don't think he answered the
question. He didn't answer it. Then, he.
Oh yeah. I got off track.
I'm like, we were looking at each other like, no, you got to. It's all good.
So funny.
And he's a good old cowboy up there, man, doing his thing.
And he's earned it. And you know what? Like he's tight with like really respectable people.
Yeah.
Like Lou.
Yeah, that's right.
And Bobby Clark. Daryl Sutter. Like, he's just kind of...
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He's old school, too,
He's an old school cat. He was very interesting. You're going to like this, all y'all out there.
People are going to like it.
I want you guys to sit back.
It's among the most surprising. Not that I was surprised. I knew he'd be good because he made his mark in terms of, managing like a listen, the Kings, that's like almost like a dynasty. Not quite to the Blackhawks level, but...
You almost got there. You win 2 and fucking
4. They did it their way, their own brand of hockey, how they played. Yeah, I love Jonathan Quick, man.
They were fun. They were cool. Mm-hmm. They were big. Yeah, he's a good. You'll enjoy this, all you guys out there and girls.
If they weren't in L.A., they would get way more respect.
Yeah,
than they probably get. Plus, they did it one year as an 8 seed too, which is just kind of crazy. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's get to it.
Let's go.
Cam Strick podcast. Cam is always brought to you by Hair Club. It's time to replace, regrow, and restore that hair. Did you know that?
Oh, I know, homie.
From personal experience, all about that?
No doubt about it, man. And it's a terrible feeling.
How did it make you feel when you walked out of your treatments?
Well, man, I feel good. Whenever you watch your hair grow throughout the months.
Do you watch it grow?
Well, yeah, because you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, here's another thing. And when you get your hair cut, like the girl will be like, hey, Cam, wow, you have hair growing. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, damn right. It's going. She's like, you got some hair growing. Did you do something? I go, damn right. I went to Hans, baby. She's like, it's growing. Mm-hmm. It's growing. I'm like, good.
They've got like over 1,200 locations too, man. They're all over. We see their, you go watch a Florida Panthers game, man. You see it all over the dashboard boards and everything.
Damn right.
And I think with the Miami Dolphins too, you see some hair club signage. Yeah, awesome people.
Totally cool.
Again, check them out, hairclub.com, and we're gonna have some exciting stuff happening with them, man. Love having them on board as our title sponsor. So check out Hair Club and hairclub.com, baby.
Let's go.
All right, first form, baby. We're going to be heading in there very, very soon. I don't know if you have any New Year's resolutions, Cam. But, God. I'm not really big into New Year's resolution. I like to just kind of like maintain some consistency. Things don't change very much for me after the start of the new year.
No, I know.
We just kind of maintain what we've been doing all along.
You kind of look the same for the past 20 years.
It doesn't change.
No, not much. No, but I'm going to go in there.
I got you.
I need to get my groove on, man.
I got you a stick for under your eyes and like your skin. Like I'm gonna start putting it on your eyes and stuff. It just like.
Why do I look like shit?
No, it's just gonna like. I want to see what it does.
What my wife does. I'll go home and she'll have like a mask on. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, it's you.
No, you can't even see it.
Yeah, whatever makes me look better.
Well, I'll tell you what'll make you look better. It's First Farm.
Well, that's what I do in the morning time when I can't like eat a big meal. I'll take their protein, the meal replacement. I'll take the vitamins. I'll take the fish oil.
Have you gotten into the muffins and the pancakes yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay, because it's so easy. Did you like those, Brody? Did you like the pancakes in the? Oh, she liked them. Yeah. See,
and I got my dad a bunch of clothes for Christmas, stuff like that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he needs some sweatpants upgrades.
Okay.
So we got the First Form shit. I got all kinds of sweatshirts from them too. They're nice.
Me too.
They feel good. They're classy looking. I got the red one. Looks badass.
Oh,
I finally found another color to wear.
I know. You got black and red shoes, too.
I know.
Are those new? Yeah. Were they under the tree?
Yeah, that's like Kate's mom got me new shoes.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that's all.
What size are those?
12.
Oh, your feet, that's all you have is a 12?
Yeah, Andy, I'm not a goddamn mutant.
I thought for sure you had like
Andre the Giant.
Size 14 shoes or something.
No. What size are yours? 4s?
9.5.
Look how little his feet are.
Dude, I got these new Lululemon socks, though, man.
Those are cool.
And, like, dude, they're so comfortable.
Cool.
Yeah. So, that's all I get. Everybody else gets, like, amazing gifts in my house. I get socks.
I can buy whatever. Just buy whatever you want.
My wife's like, what do you want? I'm like, don't buy me anything with my money.
You know, shit. Save it.
You know what I'm saying?
Buy me money.
Buy me nothing with my money. But the First Form apparel, don't sleep on that apparel, though, man.
Damn good stuff. Great stuff. They got all kinds of options on that.
You could live off of just First Form.
I know.
Reality.
I know you could.
And
look really good.
And look really good. It's like, where I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, I was trapped, but you look great. Well, yeah, I had a lot of First Form
stuff. I'm healthy as shit. I look 10 years younger.
They want us to come in and work out. I don't want to like work out. I don't.
I know you don't.
Okay.
Because you're going to be the weakest one there by a mile.
I mean, if nobody's in the building, I'm fine.
I know. He keeps sending pictures of himself.
I'm like, Nick, you got to stop doing that. You know, he's a model on the.
I know.
On the website.
And I just look in the background. I'm like, fuck. Mm-hmm. Like they're too good looking. I'm like, God.
I'll tell my wife, hey, do you like this sweatshirt? Just look at the sweatshirt. Don't look at the person who's wearing it.
I know. I'm like everything looks perfect. Everybody's not like, there's no gross people in there or anything. And I'm like, fuck. I might stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, you might.
I know.
But you know what? You'll fit in if you're respectful.
Well, yeah, Andy.
If you pick up your trash.
I can't help. Like, I don't know. Yeah, pick up my trash. No shit. But I just feel like, I might like sweat on something and gross somebody out or something.
Dude, that's okay. You know what? There'll be
like somebody.
No, somebody will be assigned to walk behind you and just clean up every step you take, everything you touch.
Now I'm a hassle. It's a walking hassle.
That's a success story if I've ever seen one, though. First Form, dude.
No shit.
How do you do that?
You got to be smart. You got to have will. You got to have drive. You got to have that American dream. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right they got it.
What is the American dream?
Go-getting motherfuckers. The American dream? What do you think it is?
What do you think it is?
It's like you could do whatever the fuck you want.
Is it driving that truck?
No, it's whatever makes you happy. You can get. That's the American dream. Yeah. You go get it, and you own a business. You do this. You work for a company. You do blah, 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 whatever it is. You have your family, and you're successful, or you're happy. You don't even have to be success. You have to be happy.
It's happy.
Success is happy. Happiness, happy. It's and your kids are eating, and they're playing sports.
Feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
You wake up every day, and you're like hell yeah.
Damn right. And maybe you get fired from a job. You're like, you know what? There's more options. I'll try this avenue now. That's the American dream.
My wife tells me all the time. She's like, you have too much energy in the morning. I'm like, yeah, well, listen, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready for the day.
Too much energy in the
morning?
Well,
my kids are like getting ready for school. She's got like, trying to get everybody out of the house.
Is she not a morning person?
Making lunches. Not
Kate's
really.
Not either.
No.
Oh,
dude, my wife could sleep till 10.
Oh, Kate can sleep till the cows come home.
She's got I'm like, Laurie, you can't, like Chloe's the first one up in the house. You can't have her up like without like, you got to get up too. No, she's fine.
Like, what?
I'm just saying, I feel guilty if she's like getting ready to she can't. Like, I gotta take her to school anyway.
Yeah.
But like, come on, you gotta like. I can't have. I just feel guilty if all of a sudden she's up before me.
And I'm up. I'm up, man. Early as fuck. Even on Saturday, I slept till 6:15 one day.
6:15. Whoa, slow down.
I know.
Slow down, Cam.
I can't. I go to bed early though. I mean, it is what it is. But I like getting up, dude. I just like getting up. But Kate, with them puppies, because right when I get up, if I don't want to sleep with the puppies during the night, they'll jump on that bed so fast in my warm spot, and Kate and them will sleep. And, Kate will get up, but she'll force herself to get up. Like
my son has hockey. He had hockey on Sunday at 6:45 a.m., dude. I get excited to go to the rink, though, when it's his hockey.
Yeah, I like the smell, man.
Do you?
I went to a practice the other day.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
I got out of the house. I had my buddies, the little... girls Cyclones, lady Cyclones. I went out there, and me and Reed Lowe went out and practiced with them. Took them.
When are you going to come to one of our practices?
I will. I'm starting to do stuff. Took them in the alumni room, hung out. I couldn't offer any like water because we have no water in the alumni. Just straight booze, all booze. We showed they were cool as shit.
So what'd you offer these kids?
Nothing.
Beers.
I couldn't even find cranberry juice to mix drinks. But I did say, I talked to the girls, and they were so cute and funny and cool and talkative and personality-based. And they're like, Cam, what's in your mouth? Cam, what's that? What's that? What's it? I'm like, oh, what's up?
Hey, you know what?
They were fun. Hold on. But the one thing I did say to them, and they were way more outgoing than any of the boys at that age. Like, they're just way more outgoing than Losey and I. They were hilarious. And then I asked them, I go, do you watch hockey? They don't. I go, who's your favorite player? I go, okay, Vladdy. Okay, who's a good player on a different team?
Don't say Vladdy, dude. My people in Saskatchewan.
They're like Vladimir Pipe. I go, then name me another player on a different. They don't know. Girls don't watch hockey. The girls that play hockey don't watch hockey. Girls watch hockey, but they don't. The girls that you see at the games are just fans, but they don't play. But the girls that do play don't really watch it. And I go, start watching these guys. They did bring up Jinsey Dunn and the Dunn girls and stuff.
Did you watch
like
the U18 Women's World Championships are on TV right now?
Jinsey, Joy, captain?
Yeah, she's the captain.
Yeah.
It's on like NHL Network.
Yeah, I watch that.
Nobody's at the games, but it's
yeah.
Have you seen any footage of Brittany playing basketball yet?
No, Andy. No, I haven't.
You and I are going to that first game, dude.
Oh, I'll be there. I haven't even been to an NBA game yet. I'll go to an NBA game.
Oh, I'm looking to go. I may go to an NBA game during the bye week coming.
I'd go to Indy. I'd go to Memphis because we're in St. Louis, dude. So Indianapolis is 3.5 hours right down Highway 70. Indianapolis city's awesome. Memphis is a little hardcore, but Memphis, I'd go down to Memphis and check a game out, eat some goddamn good barbecue, check out the place. Yeah. Now some shooting.
I'm surprised Nashville doesn't have an NBA team.
Yeah,
they got everything else.
Not a baseball team.
First form, baby.
They got everything else but MLB.
Do you know that I put a picture up of my my favorite bar that I go to, the Stricky Bar, which is the chocolate-covered pretzel.
Yeah. A bar?
The First Form Bar.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It's my favorite flavor. Some people like peppermint and other flavors. Protein bar.
I got
more reaction about that post. I was like, oh my God, people are just coming in left and right. Like,
because they all
dude,
know.
they love it. Or like, really, I haven't tried that one. Or where can I get it?
My buddies, dude. The shit kickers I know up in Jersey that work out, fucking cops, all those guys fucking wait. They're like, dude, you got, like, yeah, hell yeah. You goddamn right. Like, we do everything. Here, Cam, check this, do that. I'm like, I got you. Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah. I got Nick, okay? You don't have to tell me anything.
But get the energy drinks, though.
I got Nick to tell me.
I live off those energy drinks.
Handsome Nick.
Handsome Nick.
He always says, hey, mission accomplished. And he'll take
yeah. I'm like, stop doing that.
I'm like, God.
On my screen. My wife
put a stain on your shirt or something.
Seriously.
Mess your hair up.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It just goes right back into place.
His hair's perfect. God damn. Great guy.
Oh, great guy for sure. All right, Bellman and Bellman.com, baby.
I'll go out to dinner.
I know. Let's do it.
This girl and all.
Oh, we got to meet the girl. Yep. For sure.
We got to meet that girl.
You going to wear your sweatpants to dinner? Or you guys?
I don't know. Fuck. No, that's rude. Depends on where we go.
Yeah.
We'll go to a nice place, and if we know the person who owns it, like, I don't give a fuck.
Hey, guys, I have a gift card. If you don't mind, you want to split the rest of it?
I got a gift card for Olive and Oak, too.
So do I.
$250.
Go. Me too.
I know. Let's take Nick.
All right,
we should probably not say. No,
Olive and Oak, my favorite restaurant in St. Louis, by the way. Yeah, it's an awesome spot. Awesome spot.
Dang good.
Kate will love it there, too.
Dang good.
Bellman and Bellman.com. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to did we take too much time off, by the way? Or is it okay that we took... Hey, I got to tell the people,
I don't know.
All my people in Alberta who are cattle raising. Dean Lombardi's got cattle, too. Yeah. But the reason why we take time off, not only do we need it to recharge, you know.
That's true.
And plus my entire house got sick, one at a time, never more than one person at a time. But I was really like, you know that, Cam, my voice was shot, remember?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And but I don't like asking people to come on and stuff like that around the holidays, dude.
No,
so
rude.
That's why we do it. We do the best of.
And we tried to get a couple in the bank to do it, but we're like, no, because I didn't want to come in. You were sick.
And nobody's like,
no one's listening.
Who's
They're
focused
fucking busy
around the holidays, man.
They're busy with their family stuff, so that's why we took. It's not because we're here for you guys every fucking week. We don't. Maybe we're a couple hours late once in a while when shit goes down or whatever, but we're pretty goddamn consistent. We don't fuck around.
I will say
we're not like, maybe today we have one, maybe we'll just do it. No, we have guests every goddamn week for you guys, and we bring 3.5 hours of entertainment. That's what we do,
I will say this. I started listening to part 2 of the best of.
Yeah.
And I'm like driving around. I forgot that I was even listening to us. I'm like, damn.
Really?
This Eddie Olczyk story is just amazing.
Yeah.
Like some of the and even what's his name? Jack Edwards. Like some of the stuff that we were talking to him about. Like, hey, if you love Jack Edwards or if you hate Jack Edwards, either way you should listen to the interview. Because we ask all the questions that you would want to ask, or actually we ask all the questions that everybody's like complains about, but they wouldn't ask him.
Yeah, exactly.
So we actually ask him the questions. But I heard some people on Twitter like like wondering like if something's not right with Jack, and I do believe he is dealing with like a medical issue.
Oh, really?
That's why when you had media calling like saying that you sound drunk, like about it's like. You're yelling at him for bullying Patty, but yet you're like bullying him at the same time. Yeah. So you can't do that. Yep. You can't say, hey, don't talk to Pat Broom. Don't call him Fat Pat. But you sound drunk at the same time.
Well, that's just how that goes, brother.
But apparently he is dealing. I'm not making like any excuses. But people are asking in Boston. I think he is dealing with like a medical issue.
Well, if you say something goofy too, like the people that are supposed to be the virtue signal hierarchy will be the first thing to pick out that you're an alcoholic. Go drink yourself to death, man. Well, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. So I'm a dick, and now you're telling me I need to kill my like, what? Aren't we? Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's dude, you just gotta. Now Jack Edwards, like you're chirping Patty for his weight, like this, like guy, come on.
Yeah, no,
like,
that
it's
was
just
stupid.
too much, and on and on and on. And like Patty played that so cool.
But
don't act like Patty's like gives a fuck.
But then they went on.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
He went on with
he was
Biz
tubby.
and the boys, and then they're chirping. It was a little like I don't know.
It's like, you're not a victim, Patty. Okay, you're not a fucking victim. Yeah. You're not a victim. Meghan Markle's not a victim. Fucking redheaded stepchild. Fucking Harry's not a victim. Sick of this victim shit. He fucking chirped you, and then you turned around and made money for fucking bully kid. Like you're not a victim. And he's not acting like you, but I'm just saying.
I'm a victim. I'm a victim.
You ain't a victim. Yes. I'm not a victim.
No, I'm a victim. The way you talk to me sometimes. My
sister-in-law says I only pump. Listen, I chirp you, and that's fine. But I actually give you compliments, too. I don't get compliments from you or anybody.
No, it's coming in 2023.
I get no compliments from anybody.
2023.
My wife. And I think fans.
I think
fans are the only ones that do it.
I think you asked Dean some good questions.
Oh, my God. Thank you. Oh, my God. Manufactured fucking compliments don't count, dude. No. I organically pump up your kids.
Now it's
I
not
organically
even a good
pump you
compliment.
up. I organically, you call me and I'll fucking talk to you about how good you were on TV. You look good. Don't worry about that. You were good, man. No, I'm telling you. I've never got any pot.
Your shoes are nice.
Like, how do you know I'm not like in a hole or something where I need to get pumped up once in a while?
Because you keep it all inside.
No, I get enough of that from people and stuff like that, but I don't get it from my work partner.
Did you get our plant that we sent you?
Yeah, that was quite lovely. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Oh, we did?
It's okay.
Where is it still alive?
Well, it was when my mom passed
Did
away.
you water it?
Like a month ago.
Did you water it?
It's dead now, homie.
It should not be dead by now.
Yes, it is.
No, that thing should last at least a couple of months, dude.
It lasted a month.
You didn't water it?
Yeah, we did.
That's pretty disrespectful. That's gutless, dude, that you don't water the plant that I sent you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it reminded me of my mom, and I was like, okay, I'm done with it.
You think about your mom every day?
Yeah. I'll say something really... I always cook. You know, I love cooking on Sundays and Saturdays, and I like making new things. We have sponsors, Andy. We both have sponsors at butcher shops and stuff, and we take advantage of being creative and try new things. And
I do a lot of cooking videos and stuff like that.
And so anyway, I'm sitting on a Sunday, hanging out, beautiful day. Got Kate and I are chilling, doggies are chilling, everything was cute. I was in a happy mood, jamming out. I just got some food going. I cut a bunch of veggies. I love chicken thighs. Are my favorite. Like this easy thing. They're cheap.
How do you make them?
I just threw these in the oven, but I made it so cool. I cut off these beautiful veggies. I made this cool sauce so they crisp up. And I take a picture of it because I always used to do this before I put it in the oven. I always show my mom because she would. I'd text her back. Look what I got for Kate. I'll bring some over for you guys tomorrow because I always
make extra.
And I just about to send a picture. I'm like,
oh man,
I know. But it made me smile.
You're gonna make me get upset.
No, it made it. I wasn't devastated. It was more like, she used to love.
Did your mom ever make like shake and bake when you were a kid?
God, yes.
You know what that is? Where they put it in the bag and like shake it and get
pork
all the
steaks,
seasoning on
fuck
it.
Fuck yeah! It was. They're cheap. You can make cheap little things with shake and bake. Damn right, dude. That's a good. Damn right. My mom did, but I remember doing that. But it made me laugh. It made me smile because I'd always. She was so obsessed with what Kate and I were doing with the puppies and how beautiful everything is. She just made her, and I'd always send her the food that we're eating.
Yeah. How's your dad doing?
He's good. My dad's doing good. We got everything situated. I go over there all the time. I keep showing him these new trucks I'm driving. I roll up like, look at that fucking thing. I go, get in. Let's go down to the park real quick. I fly around and show so he showed me where we're gonna put all this stuff, and
that's funny.
He listens to us every day, Andy. He loves you. You know, my dad's he's doing good. He listens every fucking day to all of us, man. And we'd shoot the shit.
Bring him out to one of Ty's games. Bring him to a game.
He's not ready for that yet. Like I wanted so.
He's not ready for what?
The Blues had a Christmas.
Hold on. He's not ready for what? To go out
talk to people.
Oh, he's not.
No, God no. So I was going to take him to watch me play. He's obsessed with that. Anytime I have the buddies, we go fucking play, Andy. You know, my dad loves watching, no matter what the fuck, 5:30 in the morning at Kirkwood.
You need to have your head up, dude.
He'll come watch us play because he loves it.
You need to start moving the puck.
But I wanted him to come out to the Christmas thing that the alumni were doing, just to like show, like, hang out with the guys and watch me play and stuff. And he's like, man, I can't. I'm like, I get it. And I was like, you're not going to watch me play? Like, what are we doing? He's like, no, Cam, I don't want to talk.
But you didn't play in a game, though, did you?
No, they had a game that night. I didn't go to it.
Oh, really?
I just didn't go. I didn't go to it. And I should have went, but it's all good. But I wanted my dad to go and watch us because he gets such a kick out of it, you know, and talk to the Mr. Jansen, what's up, fucking? And my dad, hey, guys, you know, like he loves that. But he's just not ready to talk to anybody yet. Because that was a couple weeks ago.
Dude.
Yeah, I
give
know. I was
time.
Selfish when I was like, you don't want to watch me play? I want you out of the house.
No, he's not.
And he's
ready.
like, no, Cam, stop.
I'll give him my password for Live Barn.
And I sat back and I go, damn, I got you, Dad. It's all good.
Yeah.
But I eventually he's going to come out and hang with all of us. Dude, everybody loves him. Right. So anyway, it's all good.
Bellman at Bellman.com, though, Cam. Say hi to Danny Boy and Kenny.
Hi, Danny and Kenny. What the fuck?
Say happy New Year to Dale.
Hey, Dale. Hey, guys. We love you guys. You guys are OGs, man.
They are.
You've been here since day one.
Familia.
We love y'all. You got a good product out there. No swinging dicks. That's the fuck. You should put that on a big billboard.
No swinging dicks.
No fuck. Come on in here. No swinging fucking dicks. And people are like, oh shit, I don't like swinging dicks.
Somebody sent me a message today that we need to start making Oink T-shirts. So those are coming soon.
It's not Oink. God, Andy.
Doink.
It's not a pig. No, it's not Doink either. What the fuck's wrong with him?
Yoink.
Doink
it's
is like
yoink.
Doink the clown.
It's yoink.
It's yank. It's yank.
Oink.
That's what it is.
It's yoink.
Yeah. Not doink.
I know what it is.
It's not oink. Damn. You want to make a T-shirt, you got to get it right.
Hey,
brother.
so those are coming soon, by the way.
Yoink?
If anybody, hey, listen, anybody who's creative out
How about
there,
toe dragging them cougars? How about any fucking thing we say?
Who has the ability to do illustrations?
Make me something, dude.
Artwork.
Like, we'll keep you involved with something. I'll pump you. We'll
Just
figure something out.
Send us some shit.
Like, shit.
Send it to me.
Of all this stupid shit, man, like, find something, like, you know. Them cougars.
Buick GMC.
Buick. Nice cars, dude.
Yeah, you're looking at the Enclave, aren't you? Frosted
fucking
white.
nice.
I know.
They're goddamn nice.
Buicks, man. They have really changed.
They drive like a Cadillac, dude.
They do.
They do. And they're cheaper.
And I love those GMCs, dude. And we're starting to get more and more inventory in stock now, too. You know, we're starting to come back now.
I'm driving that shit kicker, though. I got a shit kicker.
That's on the other side of the street, the Dodge.
I know. I went to the other side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I got
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
I got myself one of them.
You got a Ram.
I got a shit kicking motherfucker. 6.4.
I don't like the color.
Patriot blue, baby. Let's go. I might put an American flag out the back of that motherfucker and say, "What's up?"
It looks like it should have
I'm not gonna do it. I might even put a ball sack down. I don't know yet.
It looks like it should have both of those.
This thing is badass. It's hard to park in this fucking parking lot. Patriot blue, baby.
Patriot blue to me would be the color of like a Bud Light can, for example.
It's a little darker.
That's
than
like
that.
royal. Like yours is like midnight.
Let me look
blue,
at the Bud Light can right here. No, it's a darker part. That's what I got. That's
Mm-hmm.
Patriot blue.
You don't normally like Bud Light.
Well, I'm drinking it today.
Yoink.
Yank.
Oink. So check out Bellman, Bellman.com. Get out to Troy today. And tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
Sparks. Cam, coaches are coming up to me on the. Thank you so much for recommending a Sparks skate sharpener.
Yeah, it saves time and
saves everything. Chaos. I don't have to wait in line.
Yeah.
Do you know that a kid showed up to practice the other day? True story. On Ty's team, and he had just come from the hockey store, and he got a skate sharpened, and the kid behind the desk. True story. Handed the grandfather who was bringing the skates over. Handed him someone else's skates.
Yeah, that happens.
Okay, and it wasn't even his skates. So now he had to go back to the hockey shop.
Oh, late for the game. Late for the fucking
practice.
Game. Or practice or whatever.
Yeah.
Which costs money.
So get that Sparks and get it today. It's the best decision you'll ever make. I've got people coming up to me and telling me, thank you so much for suggesting I get that because, we got practice early in the morning, Cam. Sometimes you just can't get there. Yeah. You just do it at your house.
Easy, man.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Simplify your life. If you got kids, dude, that play hockey, it is what it is. Or you play hockey, who gives a shit.
And not only that, but it's a perfect sharpen, too.
Yeah, you just press a button.
But
you guide it to where you want.
It's a perfect skate sharpen for your skates. Your edges will be on point. And there's a reason why.
Andy's all about those edges. We all know that.
Hey, there's a reason why 25 NHL teams are using it.
No. They all should.
How many teams?
25.
Yeah. Oh, they all
number should. Jersey, Andy. Good old 25.
How about this? This guy sent me a note the other day. He goes, hey, I'm in Jersey watching the Blues game. He's like, funny how I don't see a 55 hanging from the rafters. I go, well, his number was 25 there.
Jesus. Good chirp, dickwad.
So awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Funny how I don't see a 55 hanging from the rafters. I'm like, well, he didn't wear 55 in Jersey.
Idiot boy.
Who wore 25? I'm surprised you got it back when you went back to Jersey.
Yeah, I mean.
Did somebody give it to you?
No.
Did you have to give him like a meat stick or something?
Yeah, from First Form. That's all you do.
I'll do a cameo for you if you give me the number back.
Nah, they're pretty respectful.
But I love my Sparks, man. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save money. More money than you're going to save on Black Friday or Cyber Monday.
Man, get over that shit.
It's true. It's the biggest sale of the year.
It's over. All that shit's over.
Cam Strick is the promo code. So use it, and then you're going to save more money than you'll save on some of the other biggest holidays they have throughout the course of the year. New sponsor alert, baby.
Yeah.
We could not be happier than to bring Gel Sticks on board.
Oh, really?
GELSTX. Do you know how to spell that? Gel Sticks.
GELSTX.
They've got the lacrosse and they got the golf, but they got the hockey too.
Good, man. Because
So here's the deal, Cam. Before you explain the benefit of what it is, they've got like weighted sticks. So like if you're stick handling in your basement or outside in the driveway, maybe outside the dressing room before the game, and you're using a heavier weighted stick, then you grab your regular stick. Like, what's the advantage of doing that?
Oh my God! It makes you feel like you're stick handling a golf ball. It's exactly what you want. It makes you shoot the puck easier, absorb the puck easier, hold on to the puck easier. I used to have this rhythm where I'd have these different weighted pucks before. I'd go out and find like a little area in the bottom of these rinks, these little concrete area, and just chip it off the wall. Stick handle, toe drag, just to get your groove, you get your rhythm, get your hands. Like, okay, you didn't toe drag. No, I didn't. But once I got that damn thing off the wall, everything was easier for me to make that little sauce pass or make a backhand sauce or whatever you got to do, or hold it and spin off a guy. Just like it just makes stick handling the puck the easiest. For me, I was always able to get my legs going, but sometimes it was hard to get my hands going. You get the puck kicked up off the wall, it's a shitty pass rimmed around. I got to hold it, kick it, spin off a guy, make a little play. Like when you have these weighted sticks and stuff like that, and you stick handle before you practice and on games, like it just makes everything so much easier.
Cam, they're scientifically designed to help athletes become stronger, faster, and gain a competitive edge.
Of course.
So I mean, everything you said, I just kind of like put it like in a little gel cap right there.
That's what actually did it.
Okay.
Actually, like did that stuff.
Now, what about the golf?
When you're bird watching, I was stick handling.
Were you?
Shit, yeah. What about golf? Fuck, I need that too. Jesus.
Today's a good day to go out there and use that weighted
Yeah, you got
golf
50
club.
degrees out there. Yeah, absolutely.
They got the lacrosse shafts, but again, they're weighted. They're heavier. It's like when you're a baseball player and you're on deck, you used to put the donut on your bat,
and you kick it off,
take some swings.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden I go up there, I'm ready for that, 85 mile per hour.
He'll
heater.
bomb one out, and he's a power hitter.
That was a single hitter. I used to hit a couple of
middle of the order lineup.
No, second all the time.
Oh yeah,
always second.
I bet.
batted second all the time, Cam, as a matter of fact. So get your gel sticks, man.
I
Gel
played
Sports,
shortstop,
dude.
too.
Tell them welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, dudes. What's going on? Let's go.
I didn't like that.
Why?
I feel like it needs to be.
Hey, guys, no, send me one of those sticks, too, by the way, because I want to stick handle and dominate.
Gel Sticks. GELSTX.com. Check it out. And, man, become stronger. Use science to make you a better hockey player. All right. We're going to Dean Lombardi now, man. No relation to Vince Lombardi. No. We checked that out at the very beginning of the interview. You're going to love this, man. The architect of the two-time Stanley Cup winning Los Angeles Kings, now working for the Philly Flyers.
Yeah.
Dean Lombardi on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast, baby. Hairclub.com, baby.
Oh, you're damn right.
Go to our landing page today, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. Regrow, restore, and replace that hair.
Don't wait.
Now to the interview.
Hello.
Is this Vince Lombardi?
Vince.
This is he. This is he.
You guys related?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Unbelievable how that guy's name still resonates after 80 years.
It's because of you. It's because of you, Dean. See, you keep his memory alive.
You guys are just trying to butter me up before we get going.
Hey, man, thanks for doing this, and we're looking forward to it for sure. So I hope you had a good holiday. And so where are you living now? Are you out in the West Coast or are you in Philly?
No, I'm still on the West Coast. We set up a place in Northern California about 20 years ago. So it's it's a small horse ranch, and so that it was a good move. We got in there before it. It's really starting to grow with the people from San Francisco move up there. So it's gone from pickup trucks to BMWs. But you can't beat the weather out there. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's still pretty chilly up there, isn't it? Like, where exactly are you?
It's in Northern California. It's just south of Napa. See, that's why we got in. It's a town called Sonoma.
Oh, yeah.
And, it didn't have the shtick of Napa and everything else, but it's in that country. And So you're only really about an hour north of San Francisco without traffic. So, no, it was a good move by us. And then the other thing, I followed in the line with Sutter. I ended up getting with my home run was about 5 years ago. I bought a 600-acre ranch in Idaho.
Oh,
and
my God.
That's my, I run cattle out there with the cowboys, and the hunting and the fishing's unbelievable. So
and those are my...
Yeah, you better watch out for those bears.
Grizzlies, the brown bears up there.
No, we don't got those. Those are mostly in northern Idaho. We get a lot of wolves and coyotes, and then when you're moving cattle and stuff, it's the rattlesnakes. Oh. So, but hey, that's a small price to pay for that country. That's beautiful. I remember I went up to Daryl Sutter's ranch once, and I said, when we were working together in San Jose, and I said, you know what, this is it someday. So I didn't quite get the same acreage he got, but the same principle.
Okay, so how'd you find it? And like, do you know what you're doing with cattle ranching? Like, how'd you know what to do?
Well, it's kind of funny where, no, I didn't. But that was one of the things when I went out. My wife, we did it pretty smart. We every summer, we didn't get a lot of time off when I was GM. But every summer we take a trip, either Oregon, other parts of Nevada, Wyoming. And then finally we got to Idaho, said, this is it. And so then the realtor, he found I'm GM at the LA Kings. And, so he's showing me these properties and all around Sun Valley. I said, hold on here. I says, I am not interested in this whole thing where this isn't the cowboy experience I want. So I said, I don't want to be anywhere near this airport. So, because that's how it would be. So he said, and so finally it took a while because you're looking at big properties all spread out. But, we finally found a place. It's on a river.
Wow.
And, so the other thing though, so I was lucky in the sense that the land, I leased it to a couple cowboys. And I told us, look, I'll lease it to you, but I got to work with you. You got to show me the ropes.
Yeah. All right.
And so finally, slowly, but the one thing you learn out there, you show up there with California plates. There was one cowboy there, didn't say hi to me for 3 years. Yep. So you got to, it's like going, it's like you go in the locker room, you keep your mouth shut, you take your crap, and eventually you prove to them you can do it. So between the branding and the fixing the fences and then, the horses and stuff, I'm finally okay, but I still take a lot of crap. Make no mistake.
Well, they branded you like the show Yellowstone right on the chest. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they got all kinds of names for me. You can imagine with the California softy, hey, Hollywood, and all this stuff. So, hey, but we've all been in those locker rooms. So, hey, that's like I said, they don't give a damn how many Stanley Cups you got. So can you get it done?
Hey, listen, we've had a couple ranchers on, but
we love them.
Oh my God, like Bill Foley's been on with us, Brian Sutter. I mean, I'm trying to think of like some others.
We've had a bunch of
who had a bunch of land. I think wasn't it Joey Coaster? What was he doing when he was like killing something?
He was in his in
his farm barn,
his deer hut, and we couldn't hear him that well because the wind was blowing, and he had to be quiet.
I know. Hey, even Pat.
There's a lot of guys who did that during a period. Well, I know Gretzky and some guys were in northern Idaho, but that's up there with.
That's like Aspen.
That's
like being an Aspen.
We're not allowed up there. That's the fancy boys.
That's like being an Aspen. That's like being an Aspen. And Pat Verbeek's got a nice ranch too. We were talking to him when he was on the ranch.
Yeah. There was a whole slew of you guys, the Westerners, Murray Craven, Shane Churla, John Chapman, all those guys. They were mostly in Montana, but I'm actually was only about an hour and a half from them because I'm close to the border. So there were a lot of Canadians that were across the border there with their ranching and their fishing. That's what, Murray Craven was a big rancher. So but you can't beat it. It's
the best.
Yeah. No, and I used to hunt a lot when I was a kid. But then obviously when hockey takes over, you don't get out there. So I've kind of started to get back into that, So, no, it's good. I'm very lucky.
Hey, describe your upbringing though, because like you got that East Coast accent.
Yeah,
like you're obviously from out east, and I know you played, but like how did okay? First off, describe because you're the only child, right? Did you grow up with your grandmother? Like you had a lot of different relatives you were living with. It sounded like.
Yeah, no, I grew up in a small mill town. It's all my family were the factory rats, and then one of my grandfathers did some farming, so I had the best of both worlds. In the working class, where one side was all factory and the other side was all ag, and that's you grow up in that environment. You watch your father work a double shift, 16 hours a day, and and so I grew up. My father, my mother wasn't here, and so actually I was an only child when I was really young. I was raised by my grandmother, and that was in a house of 10. So we had 6 of us in one small room, but I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Mm-hmm.
These kids today, where they get all they do is on a computer. I look back and look at that room and say, how do we ever fit 6 guys in here? Then when I grew up, I was on my own a lot, but. You did just stupid stuff when you had your freedom, but when you watch your father work like that every day, he used to work in the factory, and then at night he was a janitor. I'll never forget what he told me once too, where at night he would take me when I was a little older and kind of help him, and he used to do all the big wheels offices, and he said, he said, Dean, this guy here is an asshole, a jerk. This guy here is a good guy because he never, he always treats me like, a person. He said, never forget where you come from. Someday you're going to be in an office like this, and never forget that guy cleaning your office could be somebody's father. I never forgot that, so, when you go into the rinks, you see those guys on the loading dock, or, the guys cleaning the trash, and, you treat those guys with respect. And, so I learned, I wouldn't trade that for the world either.
Yeah,
there was really good life lessons there that when you grow up in a working class environment, and, a grandfather worked in a factory, and he set the record for like 40 years, never missing a day of work. It's awfully hard to grow up lazy with that around you.
No one wants to work nowadays. What a generational gap that is,
Oh, is it ever? Okay, let me tell you a story about you.
Okay.
As soon as I heard that you, Strick sent me the thing and you were on, I immediately had a flashback.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
And I'll never forget, you talk about generational change, but I was working for Philly. I was working for Clarkey after I get let go in San Jose. So the 3 years that I had in Philly working Clarkey before I went to LA was unbelievable. I just loved working there. And between Mr. Schneider and Bob Clark, the Flyers were a family. Everybody talks family and culture and all this stuff. It's all talk. But these guys, what they created there, not only identity of the team, people underestimate how tight that staff was and what it meant to be a Flyer. And I remember they called me their token whatever because, I was the only guy working for them that didn't play for the Flyers, so, so we were scrimmaging a rookie game in New Jersey, and this had to be 05, 06. That's when you were there, right, Cam? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
he went to rookie camp several years in a row, as a matter of fact.
No, I didn't.
So he's well, it wasn't only rookie. It's like call it rookie camp, but it can be 2 or 3 year pros.
Gotcha.
It's just not the guys who had made the show yet. And this is old school. So we drive up to Jersey and we go in the rink. It's the practice rink. And I don't know if Louis turned the lights on or what, but it seemed like it was awfully dark in there. And there was nobody in there except the hockey people. And, and you could hear everything that was going on the ice. And so when you're in that type of tournament too, as I'm sure Cam can attest, 90% of the guys out there are really trying to make an impression, right? That's back in the day where, you wanted to get noticed. And obviously one of the ways you got noticed was causing a lot of crap out there. But I remember and it was cold in there.
Oh, God.
And again, it was just dead quiet, and you could hear everything. You could hear you guys trash talking, and then every other shit. And nobody stopped talking like you. And then when people square off, you could hear the punches being thrown. You could hear the fist hitting the helmets, and then they fall to the ice. You hear the skate blades, and then that big poof when guys fall over, and then It's okay. And then, ref, okay, I'll break it up. But it was always dead quiet. I've never seen fight. We always see fights and the crowd's going crazy, but you really don't realize, like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, and there was like every third shift, somebody squaring off. And you were right in the middle of it all the time, it seemed. And then, like I said, you could hear all you guys japping each other with the way you're talking. I walked out there. I was with Paul Holmgren and Ron Hextall. I said, you know what? I don't know if all these guys got enough talent, but I certainly know they got the ball.
That was like Riley Cote and all them. Yeah, South Mountain Arena, the dump. And Lou would be up in his box, that tinted box up top, staring down upon us. That was great, man. Those are old school days. Old school days right there.
It's one of the reasons, though, too, when I went to LA, I wasn't a big fan of the rookie tournaments. And it's just for that reason that the rookie tournaments were good at the beginning. But then they turned into an entertainment event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I remember near the end, I said, I didn't want to do them anymore. I said, this is turning into a friendship tournament. All these guys are congregating by a thing. All the fans are in there and the PR and everything else. So they turned it into an opportunity for publicity and everything. I get it, and that's part of the game. And, so I guess it has its purpose. But you really lose finding out which guys really want to play, and part of that is toughness, no doubt about it. I know the game's changed, but when you put a guy in that setting and you see how he responds, you don't see that in rookie tournaments now. And like I said, I don't think you guys were talking to each other and stuff before the game.
No. And this wasn't a rookie tournament. I remember those. It was training camp, but it was the American League.
It was right. It was. It wasn't even.
And he thinks I went to rookie tournament, which I didn't. Lou didn't have me go to rookie tournament,
which are great. Which I like. Listen, like the Traverse City tournament, they've got one. Listen, I enjoy watching those, man. It's a great way to see the young kids, but. That's an old school scouting trip. Hey, what's behind? You got a rooster in there behind you? What is that?
Going.
What is that?
Yeah. There's a rooster. It's the neighbor.
I love
it. Tax write-off.
They hear us. Is it?
If you have chickens, it's a tax write-off.
Oh, well, this is a rooster.
The guy next to me's got ducks, so he got it all going.
Hey, how did you meet Bob Pulford? Because you ended up marrying his daughter, who's a longtime, general manager, a great Toronto Maple Leaf back in the day, and you married his daughter. And you never had kids. I don't believe you can correct me if I'm wrong. But how did you meet Bob, who then introduced you, I assume, to his daughter?
No, I met his daughter in San Jose. She was selling tickets.
Ah.
Oh yeah. She was. She had already been there, so she was. We were both a little older, not getting married 21 or anything like they do. But no, I had met her there, and then I, from there, I really get along great with Pulley. I played my cards really right because I remember I asked him in Chicago during the playoffs for permission to marry his daughter. So I knew I was in because I was showing the respect. Do that Italian thing.
You got to do that.
So, but he's, I love, like, one of the things I'll do, like I go to his cabin there in Canada. We haven't been able to go because of COVID. But, he's not a guy who, everybody thinks he's kind of gruff on the outside, but what he is one of those guys just not a politician. And once you get to know him, he's one of the nicest human beings that, you're ever going to meet. And one of the things I love doing, like I just did, I went to see him in Chicago here at the end of summer before we went to Florida. I love putting in those old Leaf games. So he says, the first time I did it at the cabin, so I had the games from the 60s when he was a rookie, then in the playoffs, and they're playing Montreal. And, he said, I don't want to watch that. I don't watch it. And my mother-in-law's sitting there. And so I put it in. He gets a couple scotches in. And it's just unbelievable listening to him talk about, Carl Brewer, Dave Keon, Sawchuck, and playing against Belleville and Ferguson. And my mother-in-law knows more than him. But it's really funny. Like I was watching him a couple months ago. I said, Pulley, I says, this is physical. It's just not nasty, and all those guys could skate too. I know that, everybody's enamored with the speed and everything today. And I think maybe, the Flyers probably started it back in the 70s, but there weren't too many guys out there that couldn't skate. And the scores were all low, and you see the goaltenders. Oh my God. And I remember asking him about that. And then, so I'm watching this, Pulley, we've been watching this for 3 hours. and I haven't seen one odd man rush. And I says, I don't see you guys playing the trap or anything like that. What's, he says, Dean, he said, there were 7 guys in the minors that were ready to take your job. And if you didn't come back and cover your guy, you knew you were on the train down.
Yep.
I said, well, yeah. I said, well, that's another thing you don't have to worry about today. We pay a guy $10 million. He ain't going down.
He ain't going anywhere.
So they were back checking back then, because they didn't back check a whole lot in the 80s. You know,
they're hooking and clutching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jansen's there. That's all he did was go snowshoeing.
Yeah,
guys, so.
exactly. Exactly.
Dude, man.
Hey, I want to dive into your career a little bit. I've got a couple questions about San Jose before we obviously talk about LA, but we just had Jeff Friesen on. We haven't even released the interview or anything, man. But like, any good Friesen stories? Like, you drafted him; he was a great player in the dub, and obviously came in with a lot of expectations. Like, what were your thoughts there in terms of what led to him eventually moving on? I don't think you traded him away, did you?
I think I did for Solani.
Did you? Oh,
wow. Yeah, I think we did it. Yeah, that was one of my first big deals. We had a pretty good team back then. After we had built that thing over 5 years, and we were ready to add a big dog, and that's when I got Solani. I think it was Jeff and Shields for Solani.
Wow.
And yeah, but he was, again, it's such a different era, and I've seen over my course of my career, you just get a different mindset with these young people. And I'm not criticizing it. I'm sure our parents and grandparents, wondered about where we were going. But he was a kid, obviously could really skate. His hands were okay, but he had a knack for scoring. Mm-hmm. But I think like a lot of kids, he didn't have the Jansen element, so to speak. Well, you don't have to go to that level. But one thing about him, though, so Daryl Sutter rode him hard, mm-hmm. And he called him out. I mean, you pull up in these corners, or, you're throwing pucks away or not getting pucks out along the wall. And to his credit, he took it. Here's our top pick. He was a rock star because San Jose wasn't very good at the time, so it was actually the only thing to look at. And he could really skate, so he turned the crowd on. But like a lot of things, particularly, when you're on the hockey city, you don't see the nuances that really define a player. And Daryl rode him, and he took it, and he became a much better player in traffic. And that's very hard to do today with these kids. Mm-hmm. You got to tell them why, and there's a lot of repetition in your development program. And you constantly got to reinforce that you're not trying to change their game. You're trying to add to their game. We're not picking on you. If we stop picking, it's like I tell even kids today, when we stop getting on you, then you got a problem. Mm-hmm. Because then we don't believe in you. And so be thankful that we are pushing you. But you can't do the old stuff like I think we did with Jeff, where you could call him and says, I'm sure Cam's heard it a few times. Like, there's got it from a few coaches that you don't do this, pal. So that's not the way you can do it today. Mm-hmm. But that's what I always remember about Jeff. I don't know if you want to use the terminology, became a man, but his growth as a player in that area, it shows it can be done. But it has to be done differently today. Yeah,
he scored some big goals throughout his career. What about the 99-2000? Listen, that was my first year covering the Blues. 99-2000. They won the President's Trophy, and you guys knocked them off in 7 games of that first round. Roman Turek was terrible. Owen Nolan scoring from the red line. I mean, did you really think there was any chance you could win that series, or did you believe it?
Well, I'll say this about the guy behind. Jonathan Quick told me this about Daryl. Johnny told me we had our reunion there a little while ago, and he says, "You know what, Dean? I've never been a playoff coach like this guy. When he dials in, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, but in Daryl's case, when the money's on the line, like the playoffs or big games, Johnny said he's unbelievable, and." I guarantee you, everybody in that room thought they could beat you. I'm upstairs thinking I'm with you, like, holy smoke, look at these guys on the Blues. Mm-hmm. But downstairs, we were down 3-0 to San Jose that year in LA. You would have thought we were up 3-0, the way he handled it. Mm-hmm. And so they believed it, and that's all that matters. What I think who is irrelevant. But I guarantee you those players believed it. So
yeah. So what were you inheriting in LA, by the way? You get to LA, what'd you think you had? I mean, you had Kopitar there, you had Dustin Brown there, you had some pieces, right?
Yeah, I think the only guy who was there was Dustin Brown. Kopi hadn't turned pro yet, and Jonathan Quick. Those were the two big pieces I inherited.
Okay.
Was Quick and Kopitar. And so Quick was at UMass. So they weren't even there yet. So we didn't actually know what we had, but we certainly, those two guys are pillars. And, I remember going to see Jonathan Quick with Hexie at UMass, and, goalies are really hard to evaluate. And I think that's why you see a lot of mid or late round picks turn out and everybody, oh, how'd you miss that? Well, they're tough to evaluate, and then they take a lot to develop. And then there's that other element. The great ones are like gunslingers. Cam was probably exposed to Martin Brodeur, and these guys have a certain presence that I don't care what your scouting reports. You can do all the technical stuff, take all the stats you want, and everything. I'm into that. Don't get me wrong. But you underestimate that mindset of what a great goalie has. And that's the only analogy I can come up with. They have an element of cockiness to them, but it's the right cockiness. Yeah. And then they have the most critical thing, where it's not how many saves you make, it's when you make them. And he clearly knew when to rise to the occasion. And the first time we saw him, we go down the locker room. It's me and Hexie. So there's Ron Hextall, one of the, premier personalities, goaltenders in history. Stand outside the locker room. Here comes Jonathan Quick out of the room. The shoelaces are untied, and he's got a swagger to him. There's none of this, he's not impressed. Let's put it that way. So he comes out, and he was okay that game. He wasn't really, he was good. And Hexie goes, how'd you play? And he goes, got the W, man. That's all that matters. And you know what? I never forgot it, because a lot of guys say that crap, but he meant it. And that's exactly the way he is still that way today. I say him at the reunion, I talk to him. It is all about winning with him. And I think that's why you see the great ones are like Roy, Brodeur, go right down the list, Belfour. They know again, it's like at every other sport too. Your great ones recognize critical moments and rise to the occasion. And this guy is special.
He's a Hall of Famer, right? Like who else on those Kings championship teams are Hall of Famers? I mean, you put Kopitar in there and Dowdy.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else besides those three?
Yeah, I think if you're talking that level, I mean, let's go. I had a lot of really good play. I mean, you talk about guys that gunslingers. One of the all-time greats was Justin Williams.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when he was, I used to call players in my office, try and get them a little wired up. I had a really good. I firmly believed, and this is one of the changes probably, during my career, that all the guys I learned from, it probably wasn't as important back in the days as Sather and Torrey and, even Clarkie's era. But I felt it was imperative to really have a relationship with your players. They have to trust you. And so I said, every once in a while, they call me, I got to go to Dean's. They're telling all the stories at the reunion. Every one of them was going back, I got called to Dean's office. He did that. But they never knew it was coming. And so one of the things I would do is I say, this guy reminds me of this guy or that guy. So Justin Williams reminded me of Josie Wales. So we saw that movie where he's gunning down guys.
The Gunslinger?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable movie. You've ever seen it?
Andy's never seen that movie. He's lying to you, just so you know, Dino.
Cam doesn't know. Cam doesn't know who Josie Wales is.
I kind of looked at it. I don't know.
Well, you got to know Clint Eastwood. So it's one of Clint Eastwood's greatest movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Cam.
Dude, it's still that's a 70s thing.
Oh, geez.
I'm just saying.
Come on, Clint Eastwood lives forever.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
That's true.
They have all these scenes where he gets in these gunfights, and they're really, he does it in a Clint Eastwood day. It's just really cool. And so he comes over to my office, and I put I have the guy, my video guy, edited for me where he knocks guys out. But the guy downstairs, like, Dean, this ain't a hockey video. So just do what you're told.
Just do it, damn it.
So he was in a slump, and so I played all that, and he's looking at it, he's looking at me, and he says, "You remind me of that guy." I says, "See that right there? That's you. Now go out and start freaking believing in yourself, will you?" So he still sends me clips of Josie Wales once in a while. But,
you got to have different tactics, man. You got to be, you got to get to these guys in different ways. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It's so funny. Like Eric Bolton and I, who was my best buddy in 2012 on the Devils. Like we were sitting out. We had to take care of all the black aces, and the 2 months throughout the whole playoffs was such a grind when you're not involved, and you know how it goes. But when we played you guys in 2012, watching from above, the slow torture of Ilya Kovalchuk not getting shots through. You guys are blocking shots out the wazoo. We couldn't get anything going. You beat us in overtime, 2 games in a row. Like when you're watching that, you're like, okay, we're in control of this. Anytime we watch that series, like there is never a point where I'm like, okay, we're starting to turn this thing around. It was a slow, miserable death.
Yeah. Well, that's Sutter, and you look at that team though. Going back to your Hall of Famers, like Doughty is really special. It's hard to find those guys today. That again, I really think you got to know the game to appreciate the subtleties of those great number one defensemen. These guys, they make it look easy. It's not these dashers up the ice, bring you out of your seat. 90% of what those great players do is slow it down, understand angles, do the look-offs. And, it doesn't make the highlight films, but they get you out of your end. And that's one thing it's really hard to find today. It's one thing to have skill. It's another thing to be able to read the rink. And, when we drafted Drew and all the background I did on him, his father was a heck of a soccer player. He was a center half. And it's exactly what those number one defensemen do. He sees the game like those soccer players in the middle that distribute the ball. And it's not fancy stuff. It's not the stuff that, brings you out of your seat. But it does bring you out of your seat when you look, oh, my God, he made that look easy. And then Kopitar, the one thing he learned, like he was a great talent. And he really, like a lot of Europeans, those Fedorov right down the list, played the whole rink. Mm-hmm. So he too wasn't a guy that really was a highlight film. He just did everything right. Then when Darryl came in but he still had to get over that next hump, which was winning about winning. And that's where guys, I had a great group of guys in there though. Everybody talks about the big deals. This guy getting Jeff Carter, don't get me wrong, Jeff Carter was huge. Yeah. But what started building that process was getting Matt Green and Jared Stoll. If I look back on building that team to change the culture of that room, this LA, Sandal, nobody cares stuff, those two guys started it. And these are the guys, too, now when Kopitar comes in. Yeah, you have a hell of a coach in Terry Murray to teach the right way and then Darryl to push you. But those guys pushed him. And he became not only a great player, but a winner. And there's a huge difference. Huge difference.
Yeah. And, I loved watching Matt Green, 04 lockout, who was at North Dakota. I'm like, who is this captain from North Dakota just absolutely like destroying kids, just crushing them? And then he gets to the NHL. I guess he was in Edmonton first, wherever he was before he came to LA. But he's like the poster child for like what you need through 4 rounds of a Stanley Cup playoffs,
Yeah. It's fit, right? I mean, you can acquire all the players you want, but, you go through that team, it was based upon Bob Daney's model when he was in Dallas. Puck mover, stay at home. I remember when he got Sean Chambers, I go, what the hell's he getting him for? He's got Zubov and Sador. Well, he wanted him for the third pair to play with Ludwig. And so when we had Martinez, that's what I was looking at, a Chambers-Ludwig type pair in your third pair. And that was Martinez and Green. And then, like you say, again, in the playoffs, these guys, who scored, 2 of the biggest goals in franchise history, Game 7 in Chicago in the conference finals, Martinez. Yep. Who scored against the Rangers to win the Cup? Martinez. Mm-hmm. And, but him and Green are, again, going back to pairs, were a great fit, and that's the thing that when you're building a team, there's so many more things involved than just, this guy's a good player, that guy's a good player. It's finding them how they fit physically, and then finding it mentally. And you got to have those guys. I mean, I was taught by the 49ers, like when Bill Walsh was there, his circle of identity. And so this was he said, Dean, so let me tell you something. You can, you can do all evaluations you want. This is the metaphysical side of sport that you have to have a feel for. And you don't get that, you're not going to win. And I remember when I was up there, I was seeing Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice. I'm like, holy smoke. These guys weren't only great players, but God, were they pros. And I think I had a lot of that where guys in LA were like that. And, to me, like I said, we're all enamored with the awards and all this stuff. And, there's a lot of great players. But a winner's a whole different animal. And that's why, like a Justin Williams might not be considered a great player. But he'll go down in history as a damn winner.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, he's one of the most clutch players. And anybody who knows the game or follows the game certainly recognizes what he does. Hey, Matt, you mentioned Jarrett Stoll. And listen, we had him on.
Yeah.
Great conversation with him. And I know he made the mistake in Vegas. We talked to him about it. But I heard when you met with him, like, it was really emotional for you, and you, like, cried when you met with Jarrett Stoll after he came back from Vegas and was dealing with his stuff. Like, why was that so emotional for you?
Well, too many of these guys, you go back to the premise, like my wife said, well, you never had kids, but you had 20, you got 20 of them right now. And, I've had players say, you're like my father to me. And that's probably the greatest compliment you can get, that you've affected their lives, not only as players, but as people. And Jared I love Jared. Well, I love them all, but Jared was special. Again, he's the guy I look at as a centerpiece that gave us the leadership and started us on the path of being winners. And, we didn't need that. Hey, I used to give the boys the credit card. This is the other thing. It's hard for players today. Because I remember, the 3 years I spent with Clarkie, he'd tell me stories about those Flyers. The 3 years I spent in Philly before I went to LA, I always said it. I knew how to build a team before I went to Philly. But the 3 years with Clarkie, I came out and knew how to build a winner. And one of the things he always talked about in Philly is how much those guys hung around together. And after practice, they had a rule that every guy had to be in this bar after practice. You didn't have to drink, but you had to be there. Yep. That's very hard to do today.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I remember one of the things I do when I felt the boys need to raise a little hell, and I called Green and I said, okay, here's the credit card. And you guys go light it up. We got 3 or 4 days, but I want no fighting, no drinking, and no driving. And go ahead, light it up. But I want every guy there, and if you bring back any bill you have, I want every player to sign it. And if one guy's missing, I ain't paying. So, I let these. I want, like I told the owner once, that these guys aren't choir boys, but you don't win with choir boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
And,
hey, how much were those bills?
Yeah, did they take advantage of the situation?
It was worth every penny. It all paid for itself when it get 4 rounds of playoff money. But the thing but that was the thing. Jared, you violated the rule. This is the type of thing when I let you guys go. That this is clearly what we didn't want. Number one, the illegal substance, whatever. But to bring all this attention to you guys having a good time is what was part of the ground rules we laid a long time ago. And now, I was just really disappointed. If something happened, whatever, and again, you're going. Hey, I defy anybody, going back to their frat days and stuff, to say they didn't do stupid stuff. But, so it just hurt, because I thought that it's probably the only time he ever let me down. But that's the price you pay. You get close to your players, sometimes it's going to hurt. But it's just the way it goes. It's a hell of a lot more rewarding, though, than just the old whatever you want to talk about it. Just play. I'll manage you play and shut up and do what you're told. No,
exactly.
that don't.
Yeah.
So
and I love how you gave him the credit card too, man. I love that. So when we come visit you in Idaho, we want the credit card when we go out.
We want the credit card, and then we're going to go up to Gaza, the expensive area.
Hey, listen.
No, you come to Idaho.
Yeah.
This is I tell the players, you come out there. No. Same thing in where I am in California. You want to come out there, you can go on your wine tours, but you want to see me, you're sitting in my garage and there's a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon there, and that's what you get.
Oh, I
with
love
a cowboy
it.
hat on, baby.
Hey, we're there. Hey, I think Doug Armstrong, when he was on with us, like he talked having to like make this decision in Dallas, like changing the captain and stuff like that, because Dustin Brown, like such a revered figure. You talk about a leader. Like everyone always knew he was the leader of the LA Kings, So, but internally, you must have like felt something like needed to change. Like, how do you know as a manager, like when you're making that type of decision, that is a strong decision to make. Like, how'd you know it was the right decision?
I don't know if you ever know it's right. And it's one of the things I look back on, and I could have handled it better. I do believe it was time for a transition. And I was also thinking that we needed Kopitar to take another step. So, we talked about Kopi, how far he came. Again, we inherited a complete player. And then he learned to push himself and win. The next step is now learn to lead. And when your best players are your leaders, you got something. So he was kind of being molded for this, because his growth as a human being and an athlete outside the rink, it's a great thing to watch. He's a tremendous kid, but you watch him grow into a winner. And again, you can't define this stuff or whatever. You start getting into teleology and everything else. But I thought there was another step that he had, but you had to have the seat. Now it's on you. And unlike I think we give the C to a lot of young kids, or I think you guys have probably seen it, where a guy doesn't have the leadership, and we do it backwards. We say, okay, we're going to give him the C here, and he's going to become a leader. Mm-hmm. And that to me never works. And unless you're really special to be the whole package. Bob Clark. Very few people have what Bob Clark has. I'm sorry. This guy still has an amazing presence. And again, my years in Philly taught me the way he led, not only in the way he kept his staff together, and Mr. Schneider was a huge part of that. But there's something special about him. I don't know. It must be genetic. But I do think you can grow into it, particularly when you brought along like Kopi was. Nobody, again, he went through the process, became a top player, a Hall of Fame player. But I thought he was ready now. And I also thought because the franchise was ready for it. But I should have done a better job the way I communicated it to the Brownie. And that's, I look back, it's a thing where, in this business, like Ron Wolf said a long time ago, the guy who built the Packers, Dean, if you're right 50% of the time as a GM, you're going to Hall of Fame. I mean, he's right, because if you really are truthful with yourself, particularly if you're drafting 18-year-olds or, even trades you didn't make, that if you had made them, like I once tried to trade Voynov for a mid-round checker. Like, thank God the other team didn't do it. So you write that down. Boy, that was pretty stupid, Dean. But that was one I look back and says, from a personality or way I handled the human side, I should have done a better job, because he was really important to that franchise, a great kid. And, he's a guy. I mean, again, when you look back at the team I inherited, he was the only guy that was there playing when I got there that stayed with that team. 19 different players came in to win that cup. And so, he went through the whole process, and he was always a trooper through it. So, Doug Wilson had the same problem when we did it with Joe Thornton. It didn't go down good. We didn't have the whole publicity that the Thornton thing had, but internally, I think it was just as, it wasn't as good as it should have been.
Yeah. So, you guys had such a unique brand in terms of like how you won, and the fact that you guys created that dynasty, man, it was so impressive. But as a general manager, you had to deal with so many different things, though, Dean.
Yeah,
I mean, you just mentioned Voynov, like Slava Voynov, man. He was such a talent, and when he did what he did, what did that do to the organization? And like, were you like looking in the mirror, being like, "Oh my God!" Like, of all the things I have to deal with, I've got to deal with this. And how did you deal with it?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. This is the other thing people don't realize. The other thing about being in Philadelphia the 3 years before I took over LA, because when Clarkie called me to work for him, he said, "Clarkie, I don't want one of these, whatever jobs without description. I want to scout. I'm not above now getting in a car and, sitting with the scouts because as a general manager, because, I still, you'll love being in rinks." And I said, no. So I went back and, all I did was scout. And all I did was focus on players. And then, there's some of the senior scouts where they're talking, you're learning all the time. And then obviously working with Clarkie, it was constantly learning. I'd sit with him every morning when I was in Philly and just pump him for everything imaginable. But it was all hockey. And when I got to LA, I had a definitive plan, and I knew the market. It was 3 years of knowing, like Harry Sinden said a long time ago, the most important thing is no players. And you can do all this other stuff. You're not going to the Hall of Fame because you're, this other stuff. You got to know players. And when you become a general manager, you'd be shocked. And nobody outworked me. I'm not saying that goes back to, we talked about earlier, my father and stuff. But you'd spend 8 hours, 12 hours in that rink and have a list that you wanted to get done, or I got to watch this, I got to watch that, or scouts want me to watch this guy. And there it's 4 o'clock and you still haven't even hit your list. And so, there's a lot of times when I'd be coming home at 9, 10 o'clock. Well, what your wife doing? They're wondering what you're doing. Well, a lot of times you're just putting out fires. And you're dealing, the other thing that's changed, don't forget, is you're not just managing your reserve list of 50, 60 players. You're managing almost 80 people now. You got these stat departments that got, 10 people. Your PR staffs are huge. Your development staffs have grown. And then, unlike the GMs that I grew up idolizing, you didn't have to deal with so much public relations and marketing and finance. So then you're dealing with all that stuff. And you're trying to keep everybody on the same page. That's critical. That's, the other guy with a huge influence on me was Lamoriello. Before I really got to know Clarkie, Lamoriello was really helpful. But you talk about a guy who, in a meeting I had with him at night, he missed his team bus. I had just gotten the job in San Jose. I'll never forget it. He missed the bus, and he put up on the board his infrastructure. And he had lines going everywhere. And he talked about the band. You want to have a band? One guy wants to play the tuba, but he's playing the trumpet. Ain't going to work. And so now you look at that infrastructure. If you wrote it down, you'd be shocked on how many people you're dealing with. And then you also got to keep the people you're not responsible for, because that's changed, right? It used to be where the president, the GM, even ran the marketing department or said, I don't want this kid doing this crap. He's not, ready for it. He's going to get a big head. All those things you're concerned about. Well, you don't have the power to do that anymore. So, but you got to try and manage it. So that is what you're saying there, that I think the outsider doesn't understand. And I think, when people say, you don't know what it's like to get in that seat, they're right. Because, but the management side of it is so complex and critical. Because if you don't have your finance department and marketing department and PR and everything, they're not on the same page too. He understands that if you're not on the same page, you're not going to win. And it's still about winning. You want to fill your building? Win. You can get by with some of your cute little marketing stuff, and that's fine. I get it. But winning is going to fill that building. And if people aren't on the same page, and that's a full-time job, And then, when I got let go in LA and Clarkie called me to come back, and Hexie, I went back, just all I want to do is hockey. I don't, I'll be there to be advice, but like on this trip here, Tomorrow night I'll be in Springfield, then I'll be in Providence, then I'll be in Bridgeport. I still love doing that. And that's all I got to focus on. Chuck needs my advice on the big picture. Absolutely. I'll help him with his planning, show him my charts that I've had and things like that. But my day now is just filled with hockey. And then I sit there and watch Chuck sometimes, like, oh my God.
So how did you handle? Because listen, he's your player, but it's such a major story, and I know you got fined whatever for having him come and practice and whatnot. But how did you handle Voynov, just the whole situation?
Well, okay, I got off track there. Yeah. That's one of those things that you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Oh yeah.
You got to handle that. So now that led to all kinds of things with the owner, and then lawyers got involved, and this one here, I'm like, and then because you didn't all have all the facts, and so then your players are coming in. Well, they may put in signs of this. I'm going, holy smoke! So you're okay, yeah. So I got off track there, but that's a great point. That consumed a good part of your day for 3 weeks trying to figure out what the heck happened here, and then what you're going to do about it. And then you're dealing with the league, as far as that, and the PR. I'm like, oh my God. And the sad part was this kid's a great kid, but I had to go visit him in prison. He was in a jumpsuit. I'll never forget that. I went to see him, and the thing about him, this is going to come out wrong, but he's one of the best Russians I've ever had. Where in terms of being a great teammate and just playing hard every night, coaches love. You talk about a second pair. He was the perfect complement. You look at our team. I mean, if Doughty wasn't on the ice, Voynov was on the ice.
Yeah. I
mean, that's pretty good. If you got two defensemen like that, I don't think you could afford that today.
No.
But boy, my head is spinning just thinking about that whole thing. But the knockout punch was when they put him in prison. I go to visit him. He's in an orange jumpsuit, and he's staying with all these hardcore gang members. And I'm going, oh, my God. And but the irony of this whole thing, and this is the other thing that had entered into that, the girl who he married, this is the other thing, too. She had a child that loved him. So he had so she had already been married and had a child, and come to America. And so he ended up marrying her after all this, and it was so he basically had one huge stupid incident that really, my thing on that was, I looked at all the other things that had happened in sport. I said, you know what? And I met with him, but the irony was the girl said, what's the big deal? She couldn't understand the big deal. There was also a cultural thing here that, I had spent a lot of time in Russia when I was young, but she thought she couldn't understand why the cops were taking him away.
Really?
Because she had to go to hospital, and she goes, what are you doing? And so I talked to a number of Russian people. He says, Dean, this isn't that unusual in Russia. I said, this is kind of like, I'm like, what? He says, yeah. He says, she thinks, well, probably deserved it. I mean, what? But there was a cultural thing here where there was literally, I don't want to say disbelief, but couldn't understand why you're being arrested and you're going through all this. Like, what do you mean I'm suspended? She was the one saying it. Like, what do you mean he's suspended? This is nothing. I'm like, so you throw that into the whole mix, too. But, that's your micro example of kind of what I was talking about. I got off track about, there's so many things involved. But you throw that into the mix, you can, kiss away another 3 weeks of looking at hockey. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, and that totally impacted the organization, too, because you just lost a great player. But, hey, I want to ask you about Mike Richards, too, because we had him on, and he was such a big part of your championships. Like, and that's the deal with the salary cap, right? You can't keep everybody, and now all of a sudden you got a player making money, and he's not producing at the level that he's being paid, so you got to make those tough decisions. He gets in his trouble, in his legal situations he had at the border and all that. I mean, it just felt like maybe it just didn't stop for you there for a couple years there, Dean.
Yeah, it's snowballed. And I look back on that too, because again, there's always things you can do better. Unfortunately, experience is the best teacher. And by the time we figure it all out, we're all 80 years old. It's too late.
Oh, shit.
But I remember John McVay told me, again, the guy at the 49ers, after we won the first cup, I went up and met with him. I said, John, what do I look for now that we've won? And he said, Dean, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not going to be able to explain to you. Once you've won, everything changes. I go, what do you mean? And he gave me a few examples. Remember, the 49ers almost blew up after their first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you read the books on it, it's unbelievable. They came that close to tearing apart that team. But they figured it out. And they had all kinds of issues like this. And they got through it. And so I think there's things I could have done better. I think I got a little sloppy after winning and didn't keep track of things as like I should, and again, these are the things you look back on and say, darn, I should have done a better job here. And
but like what though, Dino? Like being sloppy, like what do you mean by that? Like how, like what does that mean?
I think I should have like you talk about the Voynov thing or the Mike Richards thing. I don't think I was as diligent as I should have been I don't want to say breaking them down, but having a better pulse on what was happening and that could lead to this. Part of this, again, I think is because of success, that it changes your mindset and it takes, I think you've got to adjust. And I think it's the opposite. I think the diligence that went into keeping track of every little thing of your players emotionally and everything else that went into building it. I think in retrospect, it's tenfold after you win. Yeah. And I didn't do a good enough job at that. I should have, I don't want to say changed, but maybe did a little more of a different type digging to make sure my boys were, staying on the straight and narrow, so to speak. Again, I don't want choir boys. No. No. And, but you can't go, a rebel's fine, but don't go off the deep end. And I think I didn't do a good enough job paying attention to that. You can't put your finger on it, but it just comes down to maybe spending more time and me realizing what John McVay was talking about, that I had to adjust to a different set of challenges once you've won. And again, you can only learn this after winning, because he told me, I could write a book for you on this. You're not going to get it. You got to go through it. Unfortunately, once you go through it, it's too late. You're 80 years old. So.
Oh,
hey, but you had Brent Myers though in San Jose. Like, did you hire? And he a great guy, and he's overcome so much. But did you learn anything from his situation? And did you hire him in LA? I know he started working for a team.
Yeah.
And do you think every team should have a guy like him or McGrattan who's working in Calgary? And these guys who are there to help the players.
Talk to the boys.
Yeah, the problem, again, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how much time is spent not watching hockey. So after this happened, like anybody who knows me, the sound bites don't cut it. You got to work, and I want to know everything. And so after this happened, I said, okay, we messed this up. So I contacted some NFL teams, because they have programs like this to deal with they have it within house. So I did a lot of research on what the NFL was doing in terms of helping their players deal with all the temptations that's out there. And it's very different. I think back in the day when you guys, it was just mostly beer drinking. So I did a lot of research on, okay, what's going on? And the NFL was really helpful. And I went down and met the GM of the Chargers. I talked to the guy with the Packers, and I was shocked at how more advanced they were. That they actually, all those teams have a guy that is just there to deal with their players on these issues. Yep. And so the NHL was at the time, it was handled through the union with only two guys. and you're on the West Coast. So there's no way those guys can possibly have the relationship with all the players in the league and, deal with their problems. I said, well, okay, we're going to learn from this. I want to know everything about these programs. So I had outlined the things but what I was shocked at, in going through it, was the different level of temptation that's out there now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had actually talked to some people in the FBI and everything, and I'm listening to it. It goes, holy smoke. I mean, all I had to deal with growing up or, when I was playing or early in my career is your guy being hung over the next day, but at least that was good. He'd come in, look like crap, and the scout coach could skate the crap out of him. But now with all this synthetic stuff that's out there, and a lot of the players have to use it when you think of the pressure they're under. Mm-hmm. They're playing 3 and 4 nights. They can't sleep. And if they want to go out and light it up or whatever, they can't afford to be hung over the next day. And so there's so many synthetic things that are out there, but unfortunately, you can get addicted to them. And when I was researching all this, I goes, man, I mean, when I was growing up, all we had to do was booze and maybe pot and cocaine, and that was cigarettes. And cigarettes. Yeah, exactly. That's all the things that were out there. And I got an education. I mean, an FBI guy came and showed me all the stuff. I go, what? And even the sleeping pills can be turned into a drug. And, if you're using them improperly, I'm like, oh my God. So that's when I got the idea. Okay, I'm going to put together this program in-house. So then I got crap from the union that you can't do that because they thought I was, what do you want to call it would violate the confidence of their players. That you're trying to find dirt on them. I said, I'm not trying to find dirt on them. I'm trying to find a way to help them.
Exactly.
But one of the problems, like the NFL guys told me, and this was so when I bought Brandon, and Brandon educated me on what was going on. He didn't violate name names or anything, obviously, but he says, Dean, you're a dinosaur. I go, holy smoke. So, all right. So the problem you have is, and this is what the NFL guys told me, it takes a while because that guy cannot be seen by the players is going upstairs. So this is, and the union's got to be a valid point here, that there's how does this guy know the difference between helping them and getting dirt on them, and the kid's contract's up, and Brent Myers is upstairs. So, Dean, you got to watch out. This guy's taking this. Yeah. Okay, so it's legitimate, in terms of the conflicts of interest here. And that was what the NFL, I said, the only way you can do it. And so one of the team, the Chargers guy, was actually downstairs every day like a coach. He had an office downstairs. So just like coaches know when, they don't tell their general managers everything that's going on, that's the kind of the way he did. But it takes a lot of time. And so actually I had Brent go downstairs. So it's going to take time, but you got to understand that the trust is incredible here. And I don't know if I can be seen talking to you. I said, almost like, where's the line when he's supposed to go upstairs? So if a guy's doing something that might kill him, I guess you got to come up and see. But it's really hard to put something like that together because, like you said, on the one hand, hey, I'm not trying to get dirt on him. I'm trying to help him, and it helps me because if he performs, I look good.
Exactly.
So, but I get it that if it goes the other way, you've got a confidence issue. Or so, it's something I still think we lack in this game because I think there's way more going on with every sport, not just hockey. And like I said, the stuff that you hear is out there. I know it's, fentanyl is the big thing right now. Yeah. This ain't fair, but the stuff they have that's not going to kill you, it probably, does the stuff when guys went out for 8 beers after, getting some time off. But the problem is it's addicting.
It's painkillers.
Yeah.
It's the painkillers, Dino. It is. We've talked to so many. I've been through hell and back with those damn things. Yeah. You're 20 years old. You rip your goddamn shoulder out. You get 170 things, and you get addicted to them, and and you're left behind. The team, when you're hurt, like you're not involved and you're just
Gone.
lonely. It was bad. And things have changed, and they're way more advanced with knowing what's going on now. But god damn, it was tough, no doubt.
Yeah.
Listen, you've been great. We appreciate, and you've had an unbelievable career. Are you wanting to get another GM job?
What
are you doing for Philly? Like, what are you wanting to do? Because listen, I had on my list here Bobby Clark, who was great with us.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the fallout was when he made that comment about the wanting to take Cale Makar or whatever instead of Nolan Patrick. Yeah. That kind of blew up when he said that with us. But what are you wanting to do now in the short term?
You guys became world famous after that one. Everybody knew about the show then. Yeah. You guys are like TMZ after that.
We don't like TMZ.
Yeah, no. Cam knows all about that.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, well.
Okay, so, what do you want to do? You want to be a GM back and get another GM job? Or are you content cattle ranching and just doing what you're doing now?
Being a cowboy.
That's the only I had when I was done in LA, like I said, I really wanted to just do hockey. And then, I had about 5 or 6 teams contact me during the first couple of years. And but I think there's a part of me that owes Philadelphia so much. They saved my career, quite frankly. I'm an American kid, didn't play in the league. I did a good job in San Jose, but for him to pick me up and teach me everything and to work in that environment, I often tell people it was the best time of my career. And they go, "What do you mean you won 2 cups?" I says, "No, part of your life experience is learning things and being in an environment that was a family." Mm-hmm. And I was, obviously, Clarkie, Homer, and Hexie were like family to me.
Yep.
And that was the only place I wanted to work. And it's just too bad, obviously Mr. Schneider's gone. He's certainly not the same. Nobody can replace Mr. Schneider. And so that's the only place I wanted to work. And I only want to focus on hockey. So I still love planning. When I go in there, it's 12-hour days. But again, I come home and I still got my house in my mill town. I see my buddies that are electrician, construction workers, still working, cutting trees. Wait a minute, 12 hours watching film? Get a real job. That ain't work.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. No, and you and I want people to know, because I know we've talked about a lot of different things here, man. You had an unbelievable run there in LA to win 2 Stanley Cups.
Damn right you did.
In a salary cap era is absolutely spectacular. So, hey, I gotta tell you one story though. So, years ago, do you remember calling Larry Plow? Like, did you joke around with him and saying, "Hey, I just traded for Chris Pronger. He's coming to LA," because apparently you told Larry that. He believed you. He told somebody who called me and said, "Hey, Pronger's being traded to LA." I call Pronger. I'm like, "Dude, I hear you're going to LA." I tweeted out.
Oh, you did?
Well, that I heard he was going.
Oh, Jesus, Andy.
And this is years and years and years ago. And yeah, Larry was like, "Yeah, I got a phone call. Dean Lombardi he says, oh yeah, Pronger's going to LA."
Did Dino screw you over, Andy?
Did you joke around with Larry? Do you remember this happening or no?
Oh, I remember another incident with St. Louis.
What was it? Tell us about that one.
It was with I love Arnie. I think he's one of the best.
He is.
He's and the thing is too, you talk of things that's changed. The GMs back in the Sinden and Lou Nanny and those guys say they were like the mafia. They ran the whole thing, right? But there was those rules where when you could talk to GMs and okay, Glenn Sather, you always put your guard up, right? I mean, there's always going to be salesmanship or whatever. But you knew that conversation would stay in confidence. Mm-hmm. And we had these meetings at GM about it when all this stuff started where guys' names are always being out there. And nothing disrupts your team. Well, a lot can, obviously, but it disrupts your team when guys' names are out there. It's just very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for you then to look at the player,
right? And
guys start talking in the room, and again, you're talking about everybody on the same page. Or a guy sees his name, holy crap, I might not be here. The wife's now worried and everything else. So there used to be that cardinal rule whenever you talk to a GM. You used to be about informal conversations. Well, I'm looking at this. I might consider this guy. Because a lot of your deals, people understand, it can take 6 months sometimes, mm-hmm. In terms of laying the groundwork and throwing ideas out there. A lot of times you'd have those calls and you'd have just conversations. And what do you know, and 90% of those conversations were honest. And then as the tide started to change, two things happened. One, you're not sure you wanted to be honest. And two, because the other thing that happens is the GM will, you sitting there, usually you might have his top personnel people, their assistant GM, or he'll say, you know what, Edmonton's thinking of doing this, and what do you think of this guy? Or you might send your scouts, says, get ready, this guy might be available next month. So go up and see him or whatever. That guy's got to keep his mouth shut, right? And the problem, again, now you got all these big staffs, and staffs don't stay together like they used to. You look back, like Bill Torrey's teams, or say that all those guys, those scouts were there for life. And there wasn't this thing you see today with all the young people, which is fine, but it's all about being upwardly mobile. And so you don't have that continuity over years where people are clearly wedded to that team and you keep your mouth shut. So, and then the staffs got bigger. So then, even a GM today, Chuck, sometimes, I can tell what he's doing, that you got to be careful. You got a meeting with 10 guys in there. I might not want to say this. And that's normal now. So that's clearly changed. So, but back in the day, so I was talking to Army and he's pissed off. He says, he says, I can't believe this. Every time I bring up a guy, my freaking guy's names, I says, okay, why don't we plant something that you and I know is false and see if we can sniff it out? So he set up this thing. I forget the guy's name. So he went and told one person to make sure nobody knew. And it was a pretty big name. I forget what it was. And, sure enough, the name ended up. He goes, "Well, I got my guy. I know who it was." So
wow.
He says, "Good job." I says, "Yeah, I say that Italian mafia stuff. See, we know how to."
So he went to the media guy to say, "Hey, this guy, blah blah blah," or he went to somebody on his staff or whatever.
No, he went to the one guy who you might thought was talking, and he was the only guy.
Right.
And when it showed up in the paper the next day, and
you knew.
He knew.
Wow. Hey, that's awesome. I love that. Because Army's very good, man. That's one thing. You got to pick your spots when you wanna ask him if you really need something.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna burn you with like some of these national media guys, man. Like he won't do that to you.
It's so hard today, but you guys are dealing too. You got pros in your business, but now with this blogging stuff, I mean, it's out of control.
I know.
And everything now is about headlines, and you make stuff up to get clicks.
Of course.
The trash can incident. Well, I still have you. Did the boys really lock out Daryl with the trash can to keep him out of the room? Can we set the record straight here, Dean?
You know what? I've heard different versions of that. That was in was that in Colorado? Where was that? That was in Tampa, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. You know what? My Daryl and I don't know. We were so similar but so different. But I had this is the other thing today that's. This was a guy who we completely believed in the same thing. We just didn't always believe on how to get there. And that always happens, the relationship between a GM and a coach. And then too, your coach, if, who's the guy who said this to me? Oh, I think it was a baseball guy. He said, Dean, if your coach is driving you crazy once in a while, he's not a good coach. Because coaches don't like taking orders. They're leaders. And if they're bona fide leaders, they said, if you look at all the great, they gave me the example of MacArthur and Patton, where those guys where MacArthur told the president to go to hell, and Patton did the same thing. Yeah. He says, great leaders, that's what makes them a leader. They don't like having any bosses. So you're going to have to deal with it. If you got a coach, it's, always, acquiesce to what you want and doesn't fight you once in a while, he's probably not a leader. You just got to deal with it. And but fortunately, I think we all know Daryl's really unique in his own way. But the other thing about him, never underestimate this guy. Don't ever think dumb farmer out. No. This guy had a scholarship to Princeton, so he likes to play that game. But this guy is incredibly intelligent. Education's overrated.
What about Mark Crawford?
Yeah, but he. So whenever we get shit or stuff like that, we have our incidents in the players. How many times players would come up? The one thing you could never do is never let your players or anybody know there's a split between you and the coach. When we had our fights, it was
you can't show them.
You can't let them know that.
Yeah. But whenever we had an argument, it was probably in my garage over about over a couple of beers.
Yeah.
But how many times players would come up? Dean, you know what he did today? I go, what? Whether it be locked, who knows? Who knows what he would do to get, But this is how he kept his team on edge. I mean, it's that Scotty.
Well, he's doing it now in Calgary too.
There's a rhythm to it.
There's a reason.
Can I ask you one last question?
For the madness.
Not hockey related.
So to answer your question, I don't know what happened with the trash can.
Okay.
But I really. Whatever. I just another incident downstairs. No big deal.
Exactly.
You've been through worse than
just
that.
The next thing on the list.
Hey, real quick though, as a cowboy up there, when we were talking earlier, you said, okay, you had to deal with coyotes,
wolves,
no pack of wolves.
Yeah.
But you said rattlesnakes. So rattlesnakes, is that the number one thing you're worried about with the cattle? When you're cruising around on the horse, they're hiding in the rocks, they're soaking up in the sun. Like, that's the number one thing you're worried about?
Yeah, for me it is.
Okay.
Everybody has.
Put you down.
They'll get you.
They'll put you down.
I mean, a wolf. You're up there, and you're not. That whole thing about wolves stalking you ain't happening unless they're hungry. Coyotes are scared to death.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not worried about a coyote. My German Shepherd.
No, your German Shepherd will get
handle
their
the
ass
coyote.
by 6 coyotes. Your German Shepherd will get tore up. Just so you know, will they hang out in packs, Andy? Just so you know. So rattlesnakes, though. That's the big boy.
when you're like I'll go hunting in those hills, and that's a lot of walking or whatever going up and down.
Yeah.
You're always on the look with those rocks and stuff and then the horses. That was my first incident with them. The horses are unbelievable the way they train them up. Well, they're not trained, just the way they're brought up. They're made to go in those hills and move cattle.
Machines.
And but if that's the one thing that'll make them buck or whatever. And it happened once to me. I was actually all pretty much in not a full gallop, but a pretty hard trot. And it was like 10 yards from me, I heard that thing go, and that horse went sideways. And but even when you're hunting, like I said, you go up there at the wrong time of day or whatever, you better be looking out for them, because you never step over a rock with your foot going to the other side.
Exactly.
So
well, at least they warn you. At least they warn you. The one snake that will warn you. If you're alert and you're hunting, you will be able to hear that. But the scariest thing is being on a damn horse. Mm-hmm. You get bucked off of that, you'll break your damn neck.
And then the rattlesnakes.
I know. We worry about you, Dino. That's all, baby.
Hey,
we want to come up there and help you.
We're coming to Idaho.
Let's go.
We're coming to Idaho.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like, you guys talk a game, but you're setting up your excuse that if you do come up there and have a couple of beers, you're not going to those hills. That's what it sounds like.
No, we're coming.
No,
I don't know if I'm
I grew
going.
up in the middle of Missouri, man.
Hey.
We got rattlesnakes. We got copperheads. I grew up on the river. Dude.
I may stay back at the ranch.
Andy's a city boy, fancy lad.
I may hang back out there and just drink a glass of wine.
He'll hang out with the women and children.
I'll
shit.
look at the stars at night, man. I mean, with that clear sky you have out there in Idaho, man, I can look at that all day long.
Hey, Dino, you're the best, dude. Just so you know, man. You're the best, dude.
Okay. Awesome.
And bring that credit card when we come.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, keep that credit card going, will you?
Okay.
All right, Dino.
All right.
See you, big boy. We'll talk to you, buddy. Thank you.
All right, bye.
See you, bud.
The Cam Strick podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Dean Lombardi.
Dino.
What do you think, man? You ever had a GM give you the credit card?
No.
Who'd Lou give it to?
Nobody. Well, no. Lou would give the credit card. 100%.
No.
Yes, to Marty. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Oh, Marty would get it.
Somebody. Scotty, Marty, or whatever.
Scotty Stevens. Oh, no, he didn't play with Scotty Stevens.
I went to training camp with him.
I know, but who would be the guy that would go?
Marty. Bredor. You give him a credit card.
I wouldn't want it. I'd be like, can you give it to somebody else?
Langenbrunner.
Okay. Somebody responsible.
Yeah. You ain't giving it to me.
But how much limit is on that credit card?
We just went to dinner.
Yeah, but what's dinner costing? $25,000?
Yeah. Probably maybe a little more.
And do you have that much limit on the credit card?
On his? Yeah. He'd give the credit card out. It's probably like a work credit card that they use for shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that complex, Andy.
No,
you're looking at me like I'm fucking stupid. Like, no, he gave the fucking credit card out.
But
it's not that big of a deal.
The LA Kings rang up on that.
Oh, a lot.
Like they're giving the credit card to go to Vegas.
Well, we racked up in Montreal for our rookie party with the Blues.
Wait a minute. The team will pay?
No, not that rookie party, but we had to find money and stuff. But it was over. Was it $100,000? Remember, it was in Montreal. We racked up $100,000. It was in our papers.
$100,000.
08, yeah.
Who had money on that team? Paulie?
Paulie, Walt, Jay. I don't know. A lot of guys.
And is everybody just chipping in?
I don't remember. I remember I was roommates with Jan Stasny that night.
I had Reaver on, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Did you see that the other day?
Yeah, it was good.
I brought up Jan.
Panger jumped in and stole your show a little bit, but
it was fine.
It's all good.
I didn't mind it.
He just came in there.
We were all hanging out in the studio, man. It was a festive environment. It was New Year's.
That was good.
And, I don't think we had Revo. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, since he left St. Louis, really and certainly since he became like the media
sensation. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we've always known Reaver, and now it's like
I like Reaver, man.
Oh yeah.
He's a good interview too.
He's a very good interview.
It was funny though. You were sitting there and all of a sudden you're like and then Panger just shows up.
What'd you think of the interview?
It's good. I don't remember that much, Andy. Come on, it was like 8:30 at night.
I called you.
Andy, see what I deal with? Hey, you guys all y'all out there, you see what I deal with? I never would be like, hey, Andy, how was I on the radio? He just ignores anything I do in life.
I didn't say how
Andy
was I.
will never ever bring it up for anything.
Cam, I thought you were great yesterday.
No, you don't. But Andy will text me, how was Reaver? Was it good? So what do you think of it, though? What do you think? I'm like,
I didn't ask that.
I'm like, I don't know, because it was like 2 weeks ago.
We never talked about it.
And it was 8:30 at night. And I was just like, I don't know. But it was good.
He was good. He
was good.
What I mean is he talked about his time here in St. Louis for the first time, really.
It was
in
a good
terms
interview.
of the people that
You gonna quiz me on it?
Who really had his back and showed him the ropes. See, it's kind of an example of what we're talking about with
you didn't bring my name up, and I brought him up.
No, but he said
house.
People put him in his place and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you got to get put in your place.
Who's putting Zegras and those guys?
I don't know. That's the question. I know. Well, you're coming into St. Louis, dude, as a tough guy. You got a lot of people ahead of you that knew how to do it big time.
I thought your show yesterday was tremendous.
Did you think so, Andy? Thank you.
And you didn't even ask.
If I never. It's not. I ask you about your kids.
Are you a victim?
No. It's just don't quiz me on an interview you did 2 weeks ago with fucking Ryan Reeves. I don't really give a shit about.
He's a victim.
Am I a victim? You're a victim if I don't answer your question.
You and Patty.
Patty's a victim. He got shamed. He ain't no victim.
Patty, it made you more popular.
No shit. You played it perfect. We'll be seeing him coming up here.
I saw his son play the other night.
Which one?
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony, yeah. Oh, Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
Getting around the ice well. Good to see him play. Saw Patty's dad. Awesome, man. Big Phil.
Big Phil. What's up, baby?
Listens to every episode, he says.
Oh, no. Oh, they'll text him the radio show, too.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Big Phil will?
No, I know that because I used to chirp them for being Hoosiers. He's like, stop doing that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're not. They're like,
Because they called Patty an Oakville Hoosier. He is.
They're sleeping in satin sheets.
No, they're not. No, they're always a fucking good old boy. It's like you're not.
They used to sleep on dirt floors. Now they sleep on satin sheets.
No. Neither of that's true. Just like we grew up in the same kind of thing, But he was in a different corridor.
He's younger than you.
Yeah, but his brother's not.
Oh,
Philippe.
Somebody came up to me at a soccer game the other day. Wish I could remember the guy's name. He told me he grew up playing hockey with you.
Of course, everybody did. Everybody did. I played with every single person in this whole city. The whole city I played hockey with.
Everybody.
Like the number one thing is I played hockey with Cam. Of course you did. We played somewhere with something. You know. So we're probably best friends.
I think you were on the fourth line, he said.
Oh, I bet. You play with me, the Devils?
Hey, I see some of these coaches, though. They want to, like, coach their kid into being, like, an NHL fourth liner when they're, like, 12 years old. It's like, no. Like, let them make plays. It's okay if they turn the puck over. Like, you don't need to dump it in, chip it in, and go get it. Like just that ain't getting you to the show if that's what you're at. But don't treat him like he's like a fourth line NHL player when he's 12 years old. Like that's a great play to make in certain situations, even in youth hockey. But like I don't know. I don't want my.
Well, what does he do when he dumps the puck in? Does he just sit there? Because if you dump the puck and you're fast enough to get around the guy, but you're not going to toe drag him because you don't have the skill yet, then dump the fucking puck in and go get it and spin off the guy and take the puck to the net. So you want him to come down with he doesn't have that much skill and cruise around the fucking blue line and get his head up his ass and gets knocked fucking out, or tries to toe drag and his teammates are like, what the fuck you doing? I'm wide open. Dump the fucking thing in and go get it and separate yourself and make a play to one of your teammates.
Yeah, but you got to be able to make plays.
You got to
be able to make plays.
Well, that is a play. It's not the sexiest one, but if he dumps the puck and he goes and gets it or just chips it around a defenseman because he doesn't have the skill or the confidence yet to try to toe drag and cut
I'm
through.
talking about a young
about
age,
that, Andy?
Cam. I'm not talking like you're thinking like 16.
No, I'm talking about a young
18.
age. Like you don't have any other skill. Just like do what you're good at and go get it and make something out of it.
I think he does.
You don't have to overcomplicate things to be like, hey, have the move. No, what are you good at? Go get it.
I think they do have the skill.
Oh, well, then whatever. Then toe drag. Then go toe drag cats. Jesus, like Andy does. God.
Even some NHL players, they you can't get that into their head. They don't want to chip and chase. They want to carry it across the blue line.
Depending on who you're talking to.
They want to use the width of the ice. Some guys can get away with it, other guys can't. They won't be in the lineup if they don't get the puck in deep.
I know. You're going to turn it over because you don't have a play, but you don't want to chip it in deep because you're skilled? What? What are you saying? Keep making sense, Andy.
Hey, I don't like your attitude right now.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
This is 2023. You're supposed to be like, my sister-in-law's listening to this episode, too.
She's still listening?
Hearing the way you talk.
I'm not being mean to you. I'm just trying to make my point.
Okay.
Like, what are you talking about? I don't get what you're talking about.
Let your kids make plays.
Make plays. That's a play still.
Hey, sometimes you turn the puck over, man. It happens.
Yeah. And stop on it and get back.
You don't need to jump his ass if he does.
Who said that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. I get that point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let him, like, live and learn.
How about this? Tell the kid, whatever play you have, if the only play you have is to chip it in, then chip it in. If you got room to pull up a little bit and wait for your teammates to come down and have a center lane drive and make a play, then make a fucking play.
Like, I'm not saying never chip it in. Of course, sometimes that's the right play. Sometimes you don't have another option.
I know.
So that's the right play. But
Andy will go out to the alumni skate, though, and, like, the only play he has is maybe to, like, kind of get it in or whatever, but he will pull up and try to toe drag, and he'll lose it.
That's not true.
And he'll yell at somebody else, like, what the fuck?
I don't do that.
And then he'll, like, make a change.
Why? See, you got to make up things to make your point. That is a false accusation. Yell at somebody?
No, he doesn't yell at anybody. You're right. That was a lie.
Yeah.
My bad. You will give a look out, though, like somebody else did it.
I don't like when people yell at me, though. I don't like that.
No one's yelling. Not on my watch.
No.
Not on my watch. No one. Only person that yells at Andy on the ice is me.
Happened in a charity game a little bit.
But Andy will lose the puck and roll his eyes at somebody else, or somebody doesn't give. He will give the look. He won't yell, but the look.
A little bit. I'm holding it in.
It's funny. Yeah. We all do that. We're all guilty of that look.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We're all guilty of it. It's all good.
We thank Dean Lombardi for coming.
Yeah, man, he was great.
And great to be back in 2023, man. We got a lot of stuff.
Guys.
Hey, if you're local and if you're not, you want to come on in, book your plane tickets. Cam and I have an appearance coming up on the 20th at a bar this time, which is going to be a lot of fun, at Humphreys in Midtown. Humphreys in Midtown, 5 to 7 on Friday, January 20th.
I'll go.
Well, you better
I'll
be
go
there.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
So you got to promote that on Instagram.
I will, dude. I just got done.
Guys, listen. I'm gonna have Cam way more involved this year in 2023, promoting stuff and like.
What am I not promoting?
the damn appearance.
Dude, I went from the show to a meeting to right to here to now we're almost done. Like, I didn't have time to do anything. Mm-hmm. I'll promote
You're going to post videos, stick handling with your gel sticks?
I'll do that too.
Yeah.
How about you skate with the alumni and we could do it in the locker room?
I will, but you got to be there too.
Yeah, but last time I tell you, like, Andy's busy doing everything else, but like that kind of stuff. Like when I tell him, like, come on.
Okay. Well, next time I will.
All right.
Ty skates on Wednesdays a lot of times, though. That's the only problem.
All right. Well, sometimes you got to put me first.
Hair Club, baby. Always comes first.
Damn right.
When it's in your life, man, if you're walking around, I see stuff. Now, Cam, what direction do you go in when you lose the hair? Do you shave it all off, or do you go with like a
depends on what stage it's at.
skullet?
It depends on what stage it's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hair.
Are there different stages?
You have baldness. Mm-hmm. You're goddamn right.
Okay. What stage were you?
I was getting there.
To what?
To where I was stage like 3 out of 10, where I was getting bad.
Oh, it was
starting to go 4 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Starting to go in my was it?
I don't think people can hear that. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, geez.
There's like an alarm going off.
No, is that? But yeah, no, I was at like stage 4 out of 10.
Nobody's breaking in your car, Cam. Don't worry about it.
And no. Well, there is. My computer's in there.
Ooh.
But I had a bald spot. I started getting the back, but I fixed the front part. And now the back part needs a little treatment, and I'll be good to go. Mm-hmm. I'll be on TV again in no time, Andy.
Mm. Do you know I got shampoo in my eyes the other day, and I couldn't see for like 7 hours straight. Like, I honestly thought that I was having a serious vision issue that, like, it was going to last for a long, long time. It was like 7 hours.
We got people fucking grinding it in Saskatchewan and fucking over in Eastern Europe that speak English, that listen to this pod. They're fucking grinding it. And Andy's talking about getting goddamn soap in his eyes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Couldn't see for 7 hours.
We got guys grinding it.
So I thought it was permanent.
Fucking shit going down, carrying a fucking waterproofing hose, driving fucking 18 hours.
Those are my people.
Fucking getting shit. Fucking police officers that listen. And
Those are my people.
And you're talking about getting soap in your eyes, dude. Come on. Get real.
7 hours.
Get real. Fucking police officers getting pepper sprayed because they got to fucking kick down a goddamn door.
You know what? That's what it felt like.
We got fucking military kicking fucking doors down left and right. And you're talking about shampoo.
Don't try to sensationalize this.
No, but
don't try to sensationalize.
No, but you
comments.
did. But you did. You're trying to tell me a story. We've been on for 2.5 hours. Mm. You're trying to tell me a story about getting shampoo in your eyes, and like the people are. I gotta protect them. Like fuck. I don't want to be caught up in that shit. They're gonna fucking say we're a bunch of fucking pussies. They're grinding
7 hours.
Get on with yourself.
No vision. Could you imagine?
Yeah, I can. Ain't that big of a fuck deal.
It was tough.
Fancy lad shit.
Talk about grinding.
Jesus Christ. We got shit kickers listening, dude. Fucking badass chicks. We got shit kickers. And you're talking about fucking shampoo in your eyes. God damn. I got guys in fucking foxholes haven't fucking showered in a week. Damn, boy.
Chloe played in her first ever basketball game.
Did she like it?
Yeah. Dude, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be so ugly. I mean, and
she do good? Because she's an athlete.
Dude, she's
I bet she did. I could tell by her walk. When you showed me that video of her just walking around, she's just got that step, man. Like, I could evaluate you walk in this room. I could tell if you're an athlete or not. Like, you just have a walk. You have a walk. No, you have a walk and swagger, and she does. Honestly, like the way she runs after the ball. You send me these clips. Ty's fucking got it too. Ty's sticking on everybody. He's like spinning off guys. He's like, yeah, I'm going to edge. I see how he's doing it. Like he's a step ahead. He's just like, I'm here, baby. Like I see it, man. Those kids got something. Whatever that turns out to be, don't worry about it. Don't let that stress you out.
Ivy's got it too.
But
Ivy's got like her.
I don't know. I haven't seen Ivy do anything yet.
She's got her charm. She just loves.
She's the cutest little.
She just loves to like.
Is she okay?
You know what she said to me this morning? It was show and tell.
She's a cutie.
She said, she's like, Daddy, I'm bringing Teddy for show and tell. I'm like, oh, cool. She's like, you want to know why it's special to me? I said, why? She's like, because you gave it to me when I was in the hospital.
Oh, that cute little adorable little thing. She's a precious.
I was like,
girl.
oh, you take.
She's so innocent.
You take Teddy.
She's like a little precious little innocent girl.
She's my old soul, man.
Yeah, you got a cute family, dude.
We want to have you over.
I'll,
in 2023 for a barbecue or something.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about it.
I'll do that, dude. I'm not gonna be like.
Hey, you know what I got? Was one of these inflatable movie screens that like go in your backyard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a big ass
They look
movie.
like shit, but that's all good.
No, they don't. And it has a projector, and like you can watch movies in your backyard and stuff.
A hockey game.
Or a hockey game, whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Why
don't you have a party?
You want to come over for that?
Yeah, if you have a party, I'll come over. Kate and I will, 100%.
Maybe I'll have a party.
I'll do that.
I don't want to
like don't ask me to come over for like a holiday.
No, but let me just tell you that a party. I don't need my house getting trashed.
Do you know who's trashing your house? Are you having children over? You have children at your house every fucking day. That's what wrecks your fucking house, not adults. I'll leave a couple.
Dude, I was talking to a buddy of mine.
But come on, like you're insulting the grown-ups there.
He let his daughter have a party, and he said you could walk on the carpet and the beer was like splashing off the carpet. Kids threw up in his house.
Nope.
Like, would you want that?
Fuck no. Who the hell wants that?
Would you let your kids have a party at your house like that?
No, I would not. I wouldn't. I would do it if I was there. Even now, back in the 90s, my dad used to do that.
He was there.
I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't even fuck with that. I'd have a close group of friends over, but a party, fucking no.
I used to have parties
now
all
they drive
the
and
time.
They're going to come. I know.
In high school, dude. I used to always have parties, dude.
I bet you did, Andy. I bet you were the party guy.
I was.
They were like, where's Andy doing this weekend? Like, let's go to this house.
Oh, yeah. I actually was.
Was your mom lenient?
Lenient, yeah, but she also like stayed at her, like she had this longtime boyfriend.
Oh, so she was
who she ended up marrying.
Yeah,
and like he wasn't gonna stay at my house. You know what I'm saying? So she,
because you're there,
she'd stay there.
yeah. I know.
Friday to Sunday,
that must have been kind of awkward.
She'd leave me like 2 checks. For like dinner. You know?
That must have been pretty awkward for you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, so like everybody would just hang out at my house from Friday after school until like Sunday morning.
I get that. That would suck, though. My mom would.
Well, it wasn't every weekend, dude.
No, I know, but just like a new guy in the family.
I know.
Like, who the fuck
yeah, I know.
Like, what do you fuck? Oh, I don't know.
But it wasn't ever like that. He was never my like stepdad. You know what I'm saying?
I just would have been weirded out.
This was never the case.
I just would have been weirded out.
He had nothing to do with me, dude.
Yeah, but like
didn't even try to get involved with any decision making. No, it was just never.
No, not decision making, but more like, hey, let me get to know your son because I'm hanging out with your fucking mom.
He didn't have that.
Like, mom, who's this? Like, get in here. Like, what the fuck? Like, what's up? Like, come in here. Like, what are you doing? Like, where you guys going? Like, you taking my mom? Like, what? Fuck. I
know.
It sounds easier now. But I think me and my brother.
I was older.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Although they started dating when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah, I don't know, Andy. That must have been tough. And listen,
I had
people have it way worse.
I had an attitude in junior high, though, dude.
You must have been scary.
Well, I'm just saying, dude. Ain't no dude was coming to my house.
Oh, fuck no.
I'm being serious.
I know. Though. I believe you.
You know,
scary shit.
It wasn't. You know.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Anyway.
Hair Club, baby.
Yeah.
Hairclub.com/Cam Strick. It's the landing page. Get to one of the locations and get a consultation. And get it today.
Yeah. Let's get it going.
Hey, now is the time to start moving forward, Cam. We're moving forward.
Yeah, get that hair going. Get it going.
Could you imagine getting your hair done and staying committed to First Form for like
you're going to be
6 months, dude.
You're going to be sexy. You got hair growing back.
What would your dating life look like?
I mean, very active. You know, I in fact, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was ever single again, I'd probably be a lonely man. I don't think I could do it. I don't know if I could even like fucking have a girl have a girl understand me now after all these years.
Oh, there's no chance.
I just wouldn't. I'd probably be a lonely dude. Maybe get my rocks.
You'd be like, hi.
Like, hi, my baby kitty. Me. Yeah. Like, they'd be like, what the fuck?
You want to come over and watch like my fights on YouTube?
Nah, I'm not doing that. Like, I wouldn't do that, but I'd more be like, I have my own,
yeah, you would.
I'd be my own dude, and I just wouldn't want to do anything. Cam, okay, here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to go to this place, and we're going to see my friends here. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm set in my ways. Like, you want to come out and watch a scary movie and hang with the puppies and the kitty cat, and like I'll have wine and I'll make some good food? No? Okay. I'll beat my dick off.
Okay,
I'll beat my fucking dick.
No, you don't have to do that.
I'll beat my fucking dick.
And you don't have to tell the people that.
No, I would.
In Saskatchewan.
And they know what I'm talking about. All y'all out there, man, you're getting older. You know what I'm saying, dude. Like, you're set in your own ways. I wouldn't want to deal with that, And I think that I just would be a lonely man.
No, I got it.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
I just think that, I don't know.
You should write music, dude.
Okay. I'll write music, Andy. See, what does that mean? Write music. I don't even know.
I'm a lonely man.
I'm a lonely man. No, but I would be, because I wouldn't even try to, like, go, I'm gonna show off to this girl. I'd just be like, you want to come over?
Ace.
Hey, it's me, Janner. Hey, when you want to go bar hopping down in Soulard there, eh? Like, I ain't doing that. She's like, Cam, I'm going to introduce you to everybody. I'm like, yeah.
I need you to meet my aunt.
I want to meet my aunt. They need. I'm like, no. I will, but I'm like,
what would they call you, Janny? Janner?
Everything.
Cammer? Bam Bam?
Janner, Bam Bam. I don't know. Cammer, shite kicker from hell.
Spot picker.
Spot picker, yeah. One of them spot pickers. Look, I can't fight you. My shoulder hurts.
Would you ever say that?
No.
Hey, man, sorry, bud.
I ripped my shoulder out. I had my shoulders already sub-blocks, and I still fought like an idiot.
Sorry,
I should have said no.
I can't. My knuckles.
My coach said no.
My coach.
Fuck, my coach said no. Yeah, okay.
Well, you have to listen to the coach.
Yeah, but you got to go when you got to go, homie. Or else he's going to go ragdoll somebody else.
When you fought Barrett Jackman, it wasn't even a fight, actually. You were holding on. Or maybe it was Aaron Downey. No, it was Jax.
Yeah.
Because you were running around all game long. You had a box full of people creating a disturbance. And the way you were acting on the ice, I think I even chirped you when I wrote a story that
Very
night.
rude.
But Lou Lamoriello told you not to fight.
Yeah, and he was coaching.
In that game.
Yeah.
He was coaching, and then you just had no choice.
Yeah, I should have just fought Downey. But I made him kind of look foolish because he dropped his gloves and he started skating around with no gloves on, and the puck kept coming.
We may have to get him on, dude.
Dude, get his ass on.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. No, he's a good guy.
I
fought him
to
a bunch.
hang out actually a little bit.
He's cool.
Cheshire.
I like him. And then Jax came over, me and him fought, and then I chirped.
He would dress like a cowboy, dude.
Dude, he's cool as shit.
Like boots, the belt buckle, cowboy hat.
I remember seeing him in juniors when I was playing in Windsor, and he just started playing. He knocked out Bull Reese. It was like 2002. I'm playing juniors. I'm beating up guys, and I'm like, "Fuck, you're watching Sportsnet or whatever all day long with the players." And you see him, and they did a training video of what he did in Canada.
Oh, dude, he would
taking
carry logs
and jumping on medicine balls like. And I'm like, whoa!
Wait a minute, who did that?
Aaron Downey.
No, who created the video?
Fucking TSN.
They
did a fucking thing in his farm. Yes, Andy. I'm sitting in the locker room.
He's built like a freaking farm boy.
So as a tough guy in juniors, thinking you're the heavyweight, and you see Aaron Downey shite kicking motherfuckers in the show, knocking guys out like Belarus or whatever, and then you see his training program, you're like, oh, I got work to do.
Okay, I'm gonna reach out to him.
I got work to do. Then I started fucking fighting with those fucking shit kickers over in fucking Detroit.
I loved it.
At 5:30 in the morning in Windsor, I went to Detroit to fucking box with them fucking good old shit kicking motherfuckers.
He got knocked down by somebody, and he came up to me after the game. He said, "That's never happened to me in my life. First time ever that it's ever happened." He was
yoink.
Yoink.
Don't ruin it.
Yoink.
That's what my cat does every morning.
Carshield.com, 800-857-2481, baby.
God dang right.
Mention the promo Cam. Very embarrassing.
God dang right.
But you just got to do it. It's going to save you money, too.
God dang right.
They are everywhere, by the way. They've got a bobblehead doll for Ric Flair coming up at an upcoming Blues game, too.
Flairsy?
Ric Flair.
He doesn't speak that great anymore.
Well, he's a little older.
Just saying.
First form, baby. You know that. Be like Nick, look like Nick, act like
I'm fucking
Nick.
trying.
That's what it is.
I'm trying, Nick.
I'm getting closer.
Dude, it's so funny. Like, we talked to some guys like in St. Louis. They're big workout guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we're the first form. I go, fuck yeah. I go, Nick, Clements. They're like, you're with Nick?
Oh, yeah.
I go, hell yeah. He
That's
goes,
our
that
boy.
guy's a fuck. He's
The
biggest stud. I'm like, I know he is.
You see how
he's a little too much for me.
He's a
little too much studdish.
Do you see how studs kind of come together, like he and I and everything?
Yeah, you guys might. Like, for me, though, like, I feel like I'm just going to, like, stink up the place.
I was still afraid on Christmas morning that he was going to pop out of one of those packages, man, for my wife.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, please,
I had to
please don't have this be the package that Nick pops out of.
I had to run some errands. I'm like,
on Christmas.
I'm waiting for Kate to be like, hey, Nick just showed up. I'm like, is that right? I'm on my way home.
Oh, yeah.
We love you, Nick.
What movie
Nick's
you watching? I don't know, but Nick's
coming over and we're talking about something really romantic. I don't know yet,
Yeah.
but don't worry. Take your time. Go hang out. I'm like, okay. No, Nick's the fucking coolest guy in the world. We're just joking.
She's watching Hallmark movies. Who's in it? Nick.
I know. You're watching Nick again? Oh, cool. Turn that off. No, we love you.
Hey, but get that first form and get it today.
God, they get good stuff.
Try the bars. Try the supplements. They got a number of different, fish oil pills and stuff like that.
Yeah, they got it all, dude.
They got stuff for kids too, man. I give my kids those vitamins every single night.
Vitamins?
Yeah. Chewables. And they're good for you, dude. I mean, and they love the pancakes and the blueberry muffins, those little cake cups. Put them in the microwave 1 minute. It's like a great pregame snack, too. But I'm all over the energy drinks, and I'm all over the peanut butter chocolate bars.
And the protein, too, man. I'm starting to do a lot.
And if you're lactose intolerant or if you're vegan or something like that, then they
got stuff.
They got the vegan bars, too.
If you're vegan, then they got stuff for you, too.
Sir, can I get a baked potato with no butter?
No. Can we talk about this? This is what I want. Okay, I need this without that. I need wheatgrass, but I need this kind of guy. Maybe. Well, they'll do that for you. They'll do that for you.
Yeah.
Fucking pain.
Can they make it like? Can they clean the grill?
Andy, if we ever go out to dinner, just like make sure that.
Hey, do you mind if they clean the grill before they make my?
We're gonna hang out. We're hanging out with the Sullivans again. Oh God, the vegans. They want to go to dinner. I'm like, fuck. Fucking pain in the ass.
Hey, do you mind cleaning the grill before you make my spinach?
There's a little bit of grease on there from the bacon.
My spinach casserole pie.
Andy, who are you kidding? You're making fun of them, but that's what you are. I'm making fun of you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't talk to the waiter like that.
He doesn't realize that's it. I'm making fun of you.
I'll eat the hell out of some fish.
So I, man. Damn good fish, dude.
Maybe we'll have fish for you.
Hey, I like to go just get sushi at Deerbergs and shit.
I'm getting sushi.
Dude.
No, it's not.
Deerberg sushi? Dude, they make it right there. It's cheap and pretty good.
It's not that good.
Okay, well, go to a better Deerbergs. And I don't know what to fucking tell you.
I don't
live in a better part of the city.
I go to Whole Foods if I'm going to buy. If I'm going to buy
you are
sushi at a grocery store, I'm going to get it at Whole Foods.
A lot of masks at Whole Foods.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say.
They don't even have one out near you.
No. No, they don't. I bet you if you went to Whole Foods, just a lot of people wearing masks. Whatever that means, no big deal. No big deal. It's all good.
Oh, man.
A lot of that.
So check it out, firstforum.com. Bellman and Bellman.com. So let's say hi to Dan, Kelly, and Dale, will you?
Dan, Kelly, Dale, what's up?
Kenny.
You said Kelly.
Dan, Kenny, and Dale.
I know Kenny. What up, Kenny?
Kenny's helping me out with something right now.
Kenny's cool. I hope so.
Yeah, he's the best.
You need to get an upgrade. Now I'm driving shit kickers left and right. You need an upgrade. Your Volvos and shit.
Oh, it's nice.
Let Kenny fucking hook you up, dude.
The XC90.
Jesus, these guys been with us from day one, ground zero, dude. They're fucking right there with us.
I may have to make a T-shirt for those guys, the three of them. No swinging dicks.
What did we create for these poor people?
Dan and Kenny and Dale
The
waiting.
people were like,
says,
hey,
no
Dale,
swinging
no
dicks.
swinging dicks, eh, buddy? You're like, oh, yeah, I know. Cam started that.
The best.
It's true, though.
I guarantee you one thing, though. If Kenny was still playing hockey back in the day when Dan was like
Bagging
a hockey
guys
dad,
up?
he'd have a Sparks.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Danny would get a Sparks. But, hey, get your Bellman Buick GMC on one side of the street in Troy, the other side Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Check it out. Get a new vehicle today for 2023, baby. Look good. Spring's around the corner, man. I always say the fastest 4 months of the season are January through April. Fastest 4 months of the year.
Fuck, do I disagree with that?
Dude, it'll be April before you even know it in May.
The dog days, baby.
Well, the dog days are February.
No, the dog days are January, February, March.
March is kind of until you get to St. Patty's Day, you know. That's probably you're probably one of those. I can't wait for St. Patty's Day.
No, to go hang out with a bunch of dudes at the bar. The girls don't even look sexy at that point. Cinco de Mayo was my jam. Homie.
Oh, really?
That's when the skirts
come
maybe
we'll have you over for that.
The women folk look sexy. It's a little bit warmer out. Maybe not Saskatchewan and shit, but like St. Patty's Day is fucking cold, gloomy, dirty. The girls are drunk off of fucking Jameson. I don't want nothing to do with that back in the day. I like Cinco de motherfucking Mayo. The sun's out. The skirts are flowing. You sniff around a little bit. Okay. But on March 17th, though, it's just like swinging dicks wanting to fight because everybody's drunk off of Jameson. Okay.
Usually that's the first nice day of the year is St. Patty's Day.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, not really, Andy.
Okay,
Jesus.
well,
like, no,
Bellman and Bellman.com. Check it out. Go get a car in time for the spring.
I know.
In time for St. Patty's Day.
I told you, I got that shit kicking 6.4, 25 Hyundai.
And get
Dodge
your
Ram,
Sparks skate sharpener.
Cab.
And they are truly incredible. It has changed my life. It'll change yours, too. Use that promo code Cam Strick. You'll have your own skate sharpener inside your house. Professional sharpening at your leisure. It's really amazing, man. I mean that. No waiting in lines and having who's sharpening skates at the local hockey shop, Cam?
Who, Ricky? Where'd you drop your skate? Oh, Ricky did it. Oh,
hey, how'd you learn how to sharpen skates, Ricky?
Oh, Ricky?
No one's taught me.
He's
yet.
like, I don't
know
how. I never played hockey before. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't know how to do it.
I cross grinded. No, don't do it. Don't
Get your Sparks with an X, SPARX. Best customer service. That's another compliment they got from somebody on the ring. They're like, dude, whenever I call up there, they answer all my questions for me. Yeah. We love Sparks, man. We love it. Gel sticks. Cam, are you training with your gel sticks?
Yeah, man.
Are you out in the driveway doing that? Or are you in the basement?
We just got these guys on. Like, they're going to send me some stuff so I can stick it.
Are you doing it?
I will when they give me it.
Okay.
100%. I'll take that mug in that alumni room, too, and show off in front of the boys.
Oh, yeah.
In front of the AAA kids, in front of the lady cyclones.
I want to wait
in front of all of them. But hey, look, guys, this is what you do as a kid.
You know, my buddy
daddy to buy you one.
owns a steel company, and he made Ty a steel puck. And so we'll stick handle the steel puck around. It's like a heavy puck. You know what it is? When I say steel puck, you know what I mean, Cam?
Yeah, Andy, I do.
Jesus, yeah, act like you don't even know what I'm talking about. It's a puck made out of steel. It's heavier.
I know.
So then you stick handle that, and then you go to a real puck, and now the real puck feels like a little ping pong ball.
That's cool.
Yeah. What do you think about stick handling with a ball, like a hockey ball, versus a puck?
Puck's more realistic. It's a different grip on your stick blade when you're kind of stick handling around.
But at home.
And talking about at home, when you stick handling, you sauce it against the wall where it comes right back. Get the biscuit puck. But
that'll destroy the walls a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're worried about that, then
I'm asking. But like,
what kind of walls you hitting?
No,
I've got
tarps up and stuff. No, but you got to drywall.
You can't do that. I'm talking about in the concrete form.
But it's the hockey room we had drywall because when my kid's too old, I'm going to turn it into a wine cellar.
Listen, the kid's too young. Just
with some of Cam Ward's wine.
Do biscuit.
Did you have any of that, by the way?
What?
Cam Ward's wine.
Drank the whole thing.
How good was that?
Very heavy bottle.
Oh yeah.
Really heavy, thick bottle. It was damn good. I let it breathe for like 40 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I opened it up and I just let it breathe. I just let it go.
Did you put it in a...
I didn't put it in a decanter. I just let it chill. And we're chilling. We're watching whatever the fuck. We're watching Justified again and stuff like that. And I was crushing some beer. And I'm like, oh, yeah, open that bad boy.
Hey, did anybody see Cam's little water fountain punch bowl that he had going on his Instagram story? It's all... the orange drink you had in there. The orange...
it was champagne. It was
everything's
vodka.
orange.
It was like cranberry juice. Or orange juice.
I hope the kids weren't trying that.
No, they did at the beginning. I go, no, that's got booze in it.
I mean, what is that? It's like a triple decker.
Yeah,
it's like
that's Kate's shit.
It's like straight out of like the
Compton,
like Vegas, like.
Yeah, Kate bought this little thing for us.
love it.
We had Christmas Day. Dude, it's a Hallmark channel.
I love that.
It's a Hallmark channel.
No, that was very good. She does a great job with the holidays. So get your gel sticks. It's a weighted stick that you train with. And then you start stick handling with a real puck, it feels lighter.
10 times better.
Like, what's the benefit, though? I mean, like...
Well, it's easier to stick handle. You get used to it. It makes it simpler to make the play off the wall, to shoot the puck, to make that hard pass.
Makes your wrist stronger, too, probably.
Makes your wrist, your forearms, all that stuff. You're able to grab on your grip strength, all that.
All you golfers out there, they've got the weighted golf club, too. And the weighted lacrosse shaft. You ever get into lacrosse?
Fuck no.
Why? It's a great sport.
I was playing hockey, man.
Well, you can do both, you know.
Not at a high level, Andy.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Oh, yeah, a lot of kids
you going to play major, junior? You're going to play major junior hockey, and they're going to be like, hey, go play lacrosse in the summer. Are you out of your fuck mind? What are you talking about?
Well, maybe not then.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
But when you're coming up as a young kid, you can.
Yeah, okay, but it wasn't around.
Just like you can play baseball and hockey.
Well, meaning like I'd have to, they weren't around.
Yeah.
As a kid, yeah, but like at a high level.
I played center field, Cam. I played some first base, too. I was left-handed, so I couldn't really play a middle infield position. But I played first base or center field, batted second.
Yeah.
To track down those balls in center field.
Throwing that, Jesus. Ozzie Smith.
Oh, man. You played shortstop.
Doing backflips.
All right, man. This has been
it's been 3 hours.
220. Well, we had a long time off.
Yeah, that's true.
We got some great ones coming up, though.
Yeah.
Really good. As always, man, we appreciate the support from everybody. Anybody who wants to join our team, you want to get involved, sponsorships, whatever, you want to have an event, you want to bring us out, whatever you want to do, man. Yeah, you know how to find me. Hit me up. Don't hit up Cam because it'll take weeks for you to get back.
Well, you could hit me up on my
Instagram,
my Facebook pages, my Twitter. I keep everything.
Check all
open.
your messages.
You could text everything. You could, well, sometimes I get convoluted and different things, but like text me anytime, man. Anytime, I'm there for you. I'm here for all y'all.
Okay. Keep it that way, will you?
I do. I always do.
All right, I'm gonna go hit a First Form energy drink. And probably go get a workout in right now.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, so looking forward to that.
I'm going to take a nap.
Say happy birthday to Chloe. Today's her
Happy birthday, Chloe. Keep doing your thing. Keep going after that ball, girl. I like
CamandStrick.com, baby. Check it out. You miss any previous episodes. If you're new to the team, welcome aboard. Check them out. They're all there. Buy a hat, and we'll get that out to you as well.
Love all you guys. I'm glad to be back. We're all glad to be back. Love you guys.
Adios.